but that brings the threat of mudslides and debris flow. I'm Ed Donahue.
Tomorrow, President Trump gets an up-close look at the fire damage. He visits Los Angeles. Before heading there, he'll stop in hurricane-ravaged western North Carolina. He says the people of that region were ignored by the Biden administration. Mr. Trump says it's another example of why the Federal Emergency Management Agency is in desperate need of an overhaul.
FEMA has not done their job for the last 4 years. I had FEMA working really well. We had hurricanes in Florida. We had Alabama tornadoes. But unless you have certain types of leadership, it gets in the way.
Mr. Trump appearing on Hannity on Fox News. He says he favors having the states take the lead role in disaster response. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince says the kingdom wants to invest $600 billion in the United States over the coming 4 years. President Trump's first overseas trip of his current term may be to Saudi Arabia. Ahead of the opening bell this morning on Wall Street, the stock futures are mixed. Dow futures are up 43 points, while the Nasdaq futures are 103 points lower. The S&P futures down 6 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
My debt problem started probably about 2016. I needed my life to change financially. I called Trinity, and I ended up joining based on high credit card bills and high interest rate. And my counselor at Trinity has been great, and Trinity has been helping me to get on the right path of paying off these credit card bills, bringing down the interest rate. They have consolidated my bills into one low monthly payment. And now I am finally getting out of credit card debt. So I just want to say thank you, Trinity, for showing me a better and greater path.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Sharon, and soon I will be debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
Israel confers with Washington about its withdrawal deadline from southern Lebanon.
Israel's ambassador to the United States says Israel and the U.S. are in talks about the Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon as a deadline in the ceasefire with Hezbollah militants approaches. Israeli media have reported that Israel is seeking to postpone the completion of its pullout. Israeli forces are supposed to complete their withdrawal from southern Lebanon by Sunday. Israeli media have reported that Israel reached an understanding with the Biden administration on staying longer, but that President Donald Trump is urging it to withdraw on time. I'm Karen Shamas.
Commercial flights between Turkey and Syria have resumed after 13 years with a Turkish Airlines flight from Istanbul to Damascus. Turkish media today shows Syrian families draped in their national flag, singing pro-opposition songs and cheering as they prepared to board the flight in Turkey. News and analysis at townhall.com. 7 San Antonio police officers shot and wounded while answering a call about a threatened suicide in the city's Stone Oak neighborhood.
The suspect barricaded himself inside the apartment for several hours. At the end of the event, the suspect was found to be deceased. We don't know if he was shot by a self-inflicted wound or whether or not shot by squad officers.
San Antonio Police Chief William McManus earlier said that 4 officers were wounded and that none of the injuries were thought to be life-threatening. Federal judge set to hear the first arguments in a multi-state lawsuit that seeks to block President Trump's executive order ending the guarantee of birthright citizenship regardless of the parent's immigration status. There's a hearing scheduled for today to consider the request from Arizona and Illinois, Oregon, and the state of Washington. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes.
Feel a little better today?
It does. It was really nice to have kind of a thaw out yesterday. Just even for a few hours in the afternoon, shut the faucets off a little bit, and kind of.
Now we're dropping a bit in the temps.
Sure.
It says 40 today, so that's
still doable though.
Not that what it was over the weekend.
Right.
So, but the good news is we're back up in the mid-50s tomorrow.
Nice. I'll tell you what you did. You put in my head that 15 degrees is bearable. That day that we were keeping track of the temperatures climbing degree by degree, and once we got to 15, it was tolerable, balmy. I got in my car the other day. It was 16. Yesterday it was 16 degrees in there. I'm like, this isn't bad.
Right.
I'm sure my nose and fingertips are a little frozen, but this isn't bad.
Next thing you know, you're going to be saying, "What's this all about? What? what happened?"
I'm going to start rocking my my working toque.
Right. Be looking for sushis and sashimis.
I have sushis and sashimis. I have one of those. I don't know what you want to call it. I call it my Jack hat because it's the hat that Jack from AJR wears. But
gotcha.
It's one of those wilderness caps, kind of
kind of not like the Russian bear one, but not the Russian comrade hat, but the one that's like
the floofy on the sides. And
it's
the
like
back.
It's like either old school World War I pilot or like I don't know.
If I undo the clasp, it's got flaps.
Yeah, the Canadian moose hunter or something. Yeah, yeah, I know that you're talking.
It's just not very practical to wear out round. Here.
Usually, cold people that are cold or people with low intelligence, and it seems like if you watch movies and television shows, if multiplicity. Though I just watched that movie over the weekend because it happened to be on.
Right.
The dumb version of Michael Keaton.
Can I have a Michael Keaton? Yeah, that guy
had the hat on that you're talking about.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. I don't know if it's the entire time, but there's a lot of scenes where he's wearing the hat of which you speak. So I kind of think in Hollywood that's the universal. He's a dummy hat.
He is. He's wearing that hat. Yeah, I'm getting blown up.
Very good. So I think that's proving the point. But I am feeling a little better today. Actually, a lot better. I was kind of still driving a little bit this morning, but I still seem to feel a little bit better after I got through that part of the day. So I'm thinking I've kind of went through the stomach bug there. It kind of started feeling bad. What's today's Thursday? So it would have been maybe Tuesday afternoon I started feeling, and yesterday and so now this morning last night I kind of ate something. I felt like I wanted to eat, so I did eat a little something, and so that was I think I'm better. I mean, I'm not ready to go tackle a eating challenge or nothing this morning, but I'm feeling a little bit better here. So let me give you the rundown today. We're gonna replay a couple interviews here this morning. And then we got a guest coming in the 9 o'clock hour. This hour, we're going to replay our interview we had with Crystal Noble. She joined us from the Roswell Humane Society yesterday. Give us an update on some of the things they've got going on, some stuff with the thrift store, and just talking about the ordinance. They've done some updates to the ordinance for pet owners, particularly talking about chaining dogs and stuff. There's going to that is now going to become illegal in the city. Here in about 2 months. But we talk a little bit about some of the pet ordinances updates here and all that too. So we'll play that for you here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to play our interview we had with Elliot Rodriguez from Loan Depot. He joined us on Monday this week, just giving an update on what he does every month and talks about buying homes. He's the with Loan Depot, he's not your real estate agent, but he's the person you see first when you're trying to procure and secure your financing for said home. So we had a great conversation, as usual, with Elliot, so we'll do that. And then we'll talk some NMMI sports in the 9 o'clock hour. Sports Information Director Jeff Gunn will join us here in the 9 o'clock hour and give us updates as we talk basketball and all of that stuff for NMMI Colts, NMMI Broncos, all that here in the 9 o'clock hour with Jeff Gunn. So that's what we'll do there. Plus, we'll have all the news of the local national varieties and all that good stuff, too.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I think the fire is officially put out. The fires that we were not L.A. No, I don't want to preemptively give anybody hope. The fire that we were locally dealing with in this office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
very good.
I think we got it worked out.
Rectified.
Yes.
All this started because I sent a text.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you got some power there, homie. There's some power in them thumbs. What? How have we not figured out in this day and age that sending a message via text form can really shake things up? How are we still wondering that in 2025? Tweeting things.
I came in, saw something that said, "This is not right. Do you know about this?" Then they apparently didn't. And then
It's literally or figuratively, I guess, the Aurora Borealis from the steamed hams episode of The Simpsons. It's at this time of year, at this time of day, localized entirely within this computer.
Right. And here's the thing. Now I'm not condoning going crazy. I'm not condoning that at all.
The views expressed by Mike Winters do not reflect those of Pecos Valley Broadcasting.
But hear me out, okay?
I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
Hear me out.
Okay, all right.
I can have a temper.
No. Michael P. Winters?
Now, and at the end of the day, my temper, for the most part, is harmless. I just have to have a moment of Tourette's almost.
One of my favorite times of the day is to sit in that office. First of all, I'm surprised you haven't cracked a tooth by now. As much as I've heard through gritted teeth so many horrific not slurs, I shouldn't say slurs, expletives.
Yeah.
Boy, it gets lit up like a Christmas tree in here.
I get Tourette's to be honest, it's my tea kettle.
You gotta let it off.
I see it and and I'm like, okay, let's work on the deal. But when it hits quick, I have to do it. All I'm saying is, be careful what comes out.
Yeah.
But let the people of which are you have your ire towards see one of these moments. And when you do, people start hopping around. And so I've had these over the years where I've literally blown up, and I didn't care whose phone it was, how many boss levels they were ahead of me. I'm like, who is in charge? Why is this going on? And you do that once or twice, and I don't mean to. I just got so mad that I was like, this is horse burnt, and I just go, I was like, I'm done with this, and let that happen once. And then never have to do it again. Because they know the potential's there.
It's like throwing out a test line. You're not really fishing. You're just seeing what's out there.
It's kind of like going to prison. When you find the first person, you got to big up the beat toughest guy. And then the rest of them, it's kind of in that vein a little bit. I'm just saying. You just got to throw it out there one time. You got the capability. And then people just, he's a little nutty. Just get it to him. I wonder if this is a result of that.
What's the thing? Will Smith in Fresh Prince, when he's trying to teach Ashley how to be tough, he goes, you got to get that one wacky eye.
Yeah.
Goes, back up. Mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business.
Right.
Send a message,
Just saying, there's sometimes,
But yes, we're fire's put out.
Good deal. Watch the Lincoln Lawyer, He's always doing for justice. But every once in a while, he's going to bend a little to, make things happen.
Last night was
all I'm saying.
Last night was wrestling night, so TV was out the door. But I am going to check out Lincoln Lawyer.
I've
been recommended by enough people.
Yeah.
So,
2?
3 in fact.
Who's the third?
Yeah, Misty.
Oh, nice. Has she seen it?
She's seen it. She watched it 3, yeah.
Oh, nice. So that's not going to be a lunchtime watch.
No, that's going to be an on my own thing.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I have a real hard time staying awake for procedural crime dramas.
Well, the good news, this one is got enough action to it.
Okay.
Where it's not all courtroom, and it's
because when they get real conversational in the middle, I'm just like, oh.
Well, like I think if like actual lawyers would tear this thing apart. I'm sure, like doctors when they talk about medical stuff would, you know what I'm saying?
One of the things that lawyers specifically always praised Better Call Saul about was how accurate it was in the portrayal of the legal system.
Really?
Yeah. They said that in a lot of ways, what the lawyers on Better Call Saul deal with and the time and the procedure, it's very true to form.
Well, I will say
without all the espionage and gunplay.
Well, and this is why I say that, and this is because it's entertaining and it's an entertaining story.
Sure.
Why I say, and I'm not a lawyer, but why I say that lawyers would probably tear it apart is because a lot of the story deals with the what if of legal.
Right.
You know, it's like kind of like the premise for Juror Number 2 movie. If you ever, you know, where the killer is actually on the jury and kind of, you know, what's the odds of this? There's a lot of those kind of what if in that show.
I'm also kind of weird when it comes to the what I'll take it. Like I loved 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
Weirdly. Like it's
Oh, I do too.
It's, you know, just totally a movie that takes place in the
I love
in
the
a
book.
room. But,
I remember reading the book in school.
I read the book in school and I watched the movie after I think in like early college or something. And I enjoyed the movie, and there's very little action in that movie, but it's if a story can loop me in and have me like studying like, you know, each individual part of a case.
Which version of that movie did you watch?
It's
the black and white or the color?
No, the color one.
Okay. There's an earlier version.
Oh, I'm sure
there's a black and white earlier version with.
There's probably an earlier version of that one.
I can't remember who stars in off the top of my head, but then there was the one that I think had like Edward James Olmos or Jack Lemmon maybe or something like that. But there's a older version, and that's the one I watched in school was the older version. I watched the
1957, and really they made it. Was it 97?
Oh, they did it another time.
Yeah, well, they did one in the 50s.
That's the one
that's
saw
probably
in school.
the black and white one.
Yeah,
this is it with George C. Scott, Jack Lemmon, James Gandolfini was in it, Tony Benza.
And what year was that one?
That was
80.
No, that was 97.
No way, was it that late?
That's what it says, dude. I'm telling you, it's.
What?
I know it feels a lot.
I thought that was like in the 80s.
Later than I feel like it was.
I didn't even know George C. Scott was alive in 97.
I
thought he was passed by then.
No, I mean, I would have honestly said probably like maybe I would have given you early 90s.
Wow.
But yeah, that's later than I thought.
Everyone under 30 is like, who's George C. Scott? 12 Angry Men. 90 what? 97 was a long time ago.
1900s? We're talking about the 1900s now.
Edward James who?
Luckily, most people would recognize the name Edward James almost because of a joke on Family Guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He got introduced to a new generation through another program. Got it. Excellent. Kind of like Flash Gordon.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all don't know unless you know. I know y'all could like watch it in a certain way now, but if you weren't there as a kid and that came on with a serious attempt to entertain you.
Didn't he like fly a pulpit basically?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of like these, but it was always because the way they do the filming and everything, all those flying scenes, it's like them just standing there.
Yeah.
There's no wind, there's just a little wind where there's just a hair to move the hair.
Just green screen moving behind him.
It's like you realize you're like 10,000 feet in the air and you know, there's atmosphere. He's just, how are you doing today? Yes. Would you like some coffee?
Well, back then they had so much product in their hair, it wasn't moving around anyways.
Well, yeah, Ming the Merciless.
Ming the Merciless, yeah.
How did he commit evil when he spent literally 17 hours in makeup putting all that stuff on his face?
This is one of those like fun questions you have to deal with when normies watch pro wrestling with you. Yeah. It's like, why are they so wet? Why are they always so wet? I've gotten that question so much. Like they come out from Gorilla, and they're just the hair is just like matted to their heads. Like, did they just get out of the shower? Didn't take time to shake off beforehand.
Man, that's funny.
Being the Merciless and pro wrestlers, man, they're just generally speaking just in a constant state of wet.
Yeah. It's a lot of life, you know, like that. You need to glisten.
Yeah.
It is 20 minutes after 7. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have a few clouds in the Roswell area early today, but turning sunny in the afternoon. Sunny elsewhere, and we'll be in the upper 30s to low 40s. Overnight looks clear and cold. We'll drop into the mid-teens, and then sunshine coming up for Friday. Afternoon highs in the mid to upper 50s. Some clouds on Saturday, sunny on Sunday. Afternoon highs both days in the low 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 20 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 68%. Winds are calm at the moment. We are going to be a little cooler today than yesterday, but not as cool as earlier in the week. So take that with what you will. Winds, we're looking at a high of 40 today under sunny skies with north winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be clear, looking at an overnight low of 18, so we are going to be chilly overnight again. Southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. For Friday, we're warming back up into the mid-50s, sunny and 54. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday night, we'll drop down into the mid-20s, which is still cold, but better than 18. So Friday night, increasing clouds with overnight low of 25. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. And then looks like we'll be in the 50s on Saturday, or 50. Partly cloudy, high of 50 on Saturday with north winds 5 to 10. Sunday, sunny skies and 47 for a high. And then looking at just the first part of next week, 53 on Monday, 55 on Tuesday. Looks like chance of snow and rain and snow Tuesday night into Wednesday, 50s once again on Wednesday. They're talking like 30% chances right now, so we'll see. All right, 7:22. Let's take about a 3-minute break, and then on the other side we'll play our interview with Crystal Noble from the Humane Society. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
There are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, and to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
You there! What are these?
My glasses, Your Highness.
They're incredible. Who made these?
The eyesight in Roswell. Or was it Hobbs? Or maybe Carlsbad.
So well crafted and stylish. So the eyesight thinks they can challenge my throne with their quality eyewear.
Actually, Your Majesty, I got 2 pair and an eye exam. It was so easy. I did it during my lunch break, and they even took my insurance.
Lunch break? Who gave you a lunch break?
Human resources, Your Majesty.
Silence! I'll get you eyesight!
The Eyesight, now accepting new patients 5 and up in Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
3 locations?
Clearly the best in sight.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is now 9:27, and joining us officially in studio, Crystal Noble's back with us from the Roswell Humane Society. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's life at the? I mean, first off, heat working well at the building. I know.
Heat is well.
You know, we got concrete
outside
floors and concrete walls, so it's probably not the warmest place in the world. But
heaters are working great. We have the outsides. You know, obviously we don't have heat outside. So in the mornings when people are coming in to look at the dogs, we tell them don't go outside because it's extremely slippery, even with us putting the
and ain't nothing
salt.
to see out there anyway. So.
Yeah, no. Even with us putting the salts down, it's still slippery.
Yeah.
Because the direction of the sun this time of the year, the majority of the runs don't get sun.
My house has got one of those spots, and even to this day, there is still a lump of snow about this big right by my driveway that will not melt no matter what.
Give it a couple weeks.
Right.
But the main thing that we've been dealing with recently because of the cold temperatures, we now became partners with a group at its house called No Cold Dog.
Okay.
And so what that is they provide us with straw to provide for people.
Excellent.
For their animals.
Yeah.
City limits, county. We gave out the last of the straw yesterday. The entire state of New Mexico is on a shortage of straw.
Gotcha.
We are waiting for the next shipment to come in.
Okay.
Part of the requirements is when we give you the straw, we have to take photos of us giving you the straw so that way we can send it back to the organization.
Everybody needs documentation that that's what they said.
Or if we deliver it to your house, then we have to photo, us helping you put it in your doghouse, etc.
Proof of use.
Yep, pretty much. And that just goes for them to, know that we're actually utilizing what they are giving us to help the community. If you need straw, call down to the kennels, give us your name and phone number. As soon as Roswell Livestock gets some more in, we got the last of what Big R had the other day.
Okay.
And we've already gone through that. So once Roswell Livestock gets their next shipment in, we will get more. And then I will start calling people and saying, okay, this is what we got. How many dogs do you have?
And I imagine, too, it might be trickier than you think because, we're not the only area dealing with these kind of temperatures right now. And I'm sure they're dealing with the same issues we are in these situations. So there's a lot of demand for something that there's not enough of right now.
Exactly. Yes,
so
exactly.
That's the big picture here. This is toilet paper and the COVID, some of those COVID things we saw. It's a little of that going on.
Yes. So once we get it, we will start, getting in touch with everybody that's needing some to get them some. So just if you need some, call down to the shelter, give us your name and phone number so that way once we have the straw in hand, we can call you and say, okay, you can come and pick it up.
And I'm take a stab. Anybody listening that just may happen to just be sitting on some straw that they could part with, reach out to the Humane Society. They would love to talk to you. Right.
Well, the wind and the majority of the time, if it's just a regular cold temperature, yes, it is cold. But when you have the wind and then you have the wind chill factor, we put our turnout coat on our horse the other night, and he's like, "You're not taking off of me." And he's normally a hot-blooded animal. He's normally sweating in 30-degree temperatures because he's got such thick hair. But he was like, "No, come here.
I'm ready for the warmth.
Let me have my banky."
Yeah.
So
and that's the thing too. And horses, they're a little bit. Dogs and cats are not built for this. And that's why. If all that none of them should be outside at all, but if you're choiceless on this situation, then please the straw, you got to provide some kind of shelter for them, some kind of place where they can be warm.
So it is in the city ordinance if your animals are outside that they have to have a proper structure that has to be elevated, and they have to have fresh water within reach. They don't have to have food 24/7.
And they're just updating the ordinances.
They are.
I just saw some
starting April 11th. It will be illegal to have your animal chained or tethered.
Good.
There are certain exceptions, like as if you are working with a dog trainer and you are outside with the animal and you have it tethered while you're doing commands and standing away.
But no, just leaving a dog in the backyard chained up and walking away.
You do have to have a completely fenced-in area suitable for that size of dog.
Gotcha. So I'm guessing, like, say you're in the backyard gardening and you chain the dog up to keep the dog from getting in the thing. That's okay.
Yes.
But the moment you leave the backyard, you better unchain that dog.
Yes.
Got it.
So, or if you're mowing the yard
Gotcha.
and, the dog, you don't want the dog running in front of the lawnmower, you
Gotcha.
can tether. As long as you are outside monitoring the animal,
then you're good to go.
You're good to go.
But the moment you leave and abandon that dog, then you're not in compliance and in violation of the ordinance, which police can act accordingly.
Right. So the city put out a notice on Facebook the other day. I believe it was on the news the night before. They're giving people a chance from now until April 11th to start getting things fixed. That's
finding resolutions to be in compliance.
4 months notice. After that, then they will start issuing citations and taking necessary actions if people are not complying.
Quite honestly, if you're not taking actions now with the weather we're having, you know what I mean?
Right.
This should not be they shouldn't be out right now. I don't care what you say, what you do. Nope. I understand there's certain circumstances, but the temps when it's 9 out, you need to bring that dog inside.
Yes. Regardless of the size, and if you have an animal that you don't want it to be a part of your family and be in the house, then maybe you shouldn't have an animal.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making here. And that's so I get it. Yes. But you do. But for folks that do, and I understand people raise a certain way and I get that innocent attitudes and we can have those debates all day. But the fact of the matter is, by April, you got to stop doing this.
Yes.
And if you don't make preps now, you've got a 3-month grace period to get in compliance. And if you do not, they're going to come after you. And quite frankly, they should, because there's a reason why she has to come on twice a month to talk about why there are so many animals and things. And this is just one sliver in the reason why of that. And so until she's coming in begging for animals, we're going to need to keep doing stuff like this.
Right. So there were other changes with the ordinance as well. So the chain ban went through, but now it's also an ordinance that it's not only a rabies vaccination that is required. If you have a dog, you're required to have their parvo distemper vaccinations as well, and microchipped and spay or neutered.
That just makes sense. And you've heard this 100 times on this show. We live in an environment where parvo thrives.
Yep.
It never really dies. It just goes dormant for a bit. That's about it. And so the odds of your dog getting parvo in this community is higher than other communities. So it's so easy to fix it. You go down, you get the vaccination, your dog's good. You ain't got to worry about nothing. It's an easy fix. The fact that we have to tell you to do this is the problem. This is why you know what? If every dog guess what? They would never have these outbreaks at the kennels, whether it's the humane or the animal control.
No.
Because of this stuff. And this is something that, and this is the thing. It's not these parvo outbreaks. It's almost to a point where it's like, oh, it's almost expected. At least once a year, we're going to have a parvo quarantine because it's so bad.
Right.
It's almost Christmas is coming. Parvo quarantine season's coming. It's that.
It is that bad
prevalent.
Because, as we were talking, we've had 4 days of cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
That is not long enough for it to freeze out and kill the virus.
Right.
Or any virus, matter of fact. It doesn't matter parvo, distemper, or anything. We need long, lengthy cold where we're staying cold continuously, and we live in a region where we don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have so many viruses, and that's why it's so important for you to not only get them current on their parvo distemper vaccinations. For cats, it's the RCP vaccination, and they're inexpensive. They really are. When you look at, the cost to get the vaccinations versus the cost of the vet bill if they contact the viruses.
Well, and the thing too is, it's once these animals contract these things, it's death sentences for many.
Yes.
And the other unfortunate thing is they're very contagious. Like if one dog gets parvo in a building with a bunch of dogs, all the dogs are getting parvo if they're not vaccinated or having any kind of immunities or protections from this stuff. So.
Right. They are easily transferable, airborne, contact. If you have a litter of puppies that are in the same group, if one has parvo, 9 out of 10 times the others are going to have parvo.
Yep.
If the mom is not vaccinated, puppies can get parvo in utero from mom and then be born with it.
And is there a certain weight that before you can even give a dog a parvo vaccine?
They need to be at least 6 weeks of age.
So they're pretty much given a death sentence before they're born, basically.
Pretty
and you
much.
can't do a thing about it until
No.
till 6 weeks later, and you hope they survive the 6 weeks.
Right. And so by making sure that all animals are vaccinated, we limit the amount of animals that are being born with parvo in utero. But also spaying and neutering your animals, and you won't have a litter of puppies that are going to be possibly born with parvo. We have so many animals that are unfortunately having to be euthanized, not just here in Roswell, but all over the state of New Mexico, because of people breeding. Oh, I can make money off this dog. She's cute. He's cute. You know, they'd make cute puppies. We don't need more animals in this world. We need more responsible animal people.
Look, if you're trying to make a fast buck, I'm going to tell you right now, very few options work. But if you're trying to make a fast buck, stop trying to breed pets. Stick to TikTok videos, okay?
Yeah.
At least all you can do is harm yourself there.
Right. You know, honestly, you know, TikTok is so popular. You know, people were having massive meltdowns because, oh, my God, TikTok was going to get shut off.
Yeah.
Turn off your phones and go outside.
Yeah.
You know, go see what nature is, you know, instead of just, you know, staring at that screen all day long.
But if you're trying to make a quick buck, please don't use the animals for your path.
Stay on TikTok or Instagram, whatever.
Because what that leads to is you sitting in the Walmart parking lot trying to sell $200 dogs to people
and
that
that's
are
illegal.
probably sick, and here we sit in the situation of that after years and years and years and years of this kind of stuff going unchecked and unfettered. It's been checked hard in the last 5-10 years or so, but we're so far behind the 8 ball on this one that it's going to be years of this kind of behavior to fix it. It's stuff like this. We're going to have to enforce these ordinances, make people get these shots, make sure that these animals aren't chained up, make sure they're getting spayed and neutered, make sure they're getting microchipped. These are the things that we have to enforce to correct this problem.
And that's the sad thing, is the fact that we actually have to make ordinances and enforce it. It's common sense when you have an animal.
And all these things are just responsible things as a pet owner should be doing. It's no different than you having a child and you have to get its shots and you have to get it educated and everything. It's no different.
Nope. Do you leave your child outside chained up?
Put it this way, if you did those things you did to your dog, to your kid, would you not be sitting in jail right now? That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I know we're getting soapboxy here, but I know and people get salty, but look.
I get a little amped up because it's annoying the fact that we have to basically.
Well, every excuse given that's a bad against this is the reason we're sitting in this problem to begin with. I get freedom and I get everything else, but you got to be responsible. With freedom comes responsibility. And if you can't accept the responsibility, maybe you shouldn't handle the freedom. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. I'm going to hop over to the thrift store really quickly.
Yes, let's change gears. I think we yelled at people enough.
I could yell for hours. They have a ton of stuff right now. So if you go to Roswell High and you need a Roswell High sports jacket, they have a ton of them.
Good.
And they've got them for $50 a piece, the Leatherman jackets.
Okay.
Normally,
what do they go about, $200-$300?
Yep.
I have no idea. I bought one recently, but I know they're not cheap.
No,
they're
not.
a couple hundred when I was in high school. So yeah.
Right. So they've got them for $50 a jacket. They also have just regular hoodies and jackets because it's cold outside. They have a lot of shoes, men's, women's, kids. A lot of purses for
depending how cold you are, we could all be Roswell High graduates today.
Right. Right. We'd be like, go Roswell.
That's right.
A lot of purses for the women out there who love the purses.
Hint,
Me and Kim.
Nod, yeah.
Me and Kim.
I think some of them might be my wife's purses, to be honest.
No, they didn't even make it.
They're gone?
Oh, no, those are gone. They have a lot of brand new baby strollers and a ton of baby accessories, like, you know, the little walkers and then all the stuff that are hundreds of dollars.
And the stuff that, quite frankly, you know, you only use for a certain section of your life, and 99% of it's good again, you know. Obviously, when we talk car seats and stuff, get inspected, but like the baby strollers and playpens and the things
high chairs and all of that
you
stuff.
spend hundreds of dollars on that you only use for a year or two,
Well, the fun stuff is about these ones is they're still in the box. So somebody got multiples of the same things for birthdays and baby showers. And
so if you're just starting the family and I'm planning on having more than one of these, this might ride you through through kids here.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Got a lot of pants joggers, the windbreakers for men and young men. A lot of formal dresses. I know school dances are about to start coming up.
I would say a prom season and all that. And as the weather gets warmer, the quinceañeras and all that will start happening again.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Boots, nice cowboy boots, men's and women's. And then the riding boots and dress boots for women. They have a lot of those.
Good.
They have a leather couch for $50.
Ooh. Good shape?
Good shape.
Good.
Big, heavy.
Nice.
I don't want to lift it. Bring men.
Pro tip, if you own a lot of cats, leather couches are not your friend.
No.
But if you don't have those, go out and help them out.
Yeah.
But if I got leather couches, maybe look at some of the microfibers or something that's a little more forgiving to the cats.
They have a 1987 Shinley dining room table. It does have the leaf.
Ooh.
And it's got 4 chairs. The fun part about this leaf, because Camille and I were messing with it the other day, so you unlock it from the bottom, and then when you pull it apart, the leaf interlocks underneath, so when you slide it, the leaf hangs, and then when you pull it, then you just pull it out.
So you don't have to store them in the closet.
You don't have to store them in the closet.
Encompassing.
Yep.
I love
and
smart
they've got
engineering.
the mechanics to it, so it slides in and locks in, and you can't even tell there's a leaf underneath it.
And so this is one of those passed down to generation type dining tables. Is
Yes.
what it sounds like. And you can get it dirt cheap probably at the Humane
They have
Society.
it for $400.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's probably, if you took it on the open market, probably worth a couple $1,000.
It is. So, and it's got the 4 chairs. The chairs are in great condition.
Good deal.
The table is in great condition. It's not scuffed up.
So
Beautifully.
families took care of it that owned it prior.
They
yeah.
did. They have a lot of kitchen appliances, so small appliances, coffee pots, microwaves, toaster ovens.
I'm going to take a stab that some of those things you send off your kids at college are broke by now and maybe need to replace the coffee maker or the microwave. Come on down to the thrift store. Let's do it for pennies on the dollar.
Yes. If you have animals at home and you want to get like little bedding and blankets for like their dog beds and stuff at home, they have a whole little section of what they're calling puppy blankets.
Okay.
And they're $2 a piece, and they're just like the maternity style blankets that somebody has made for animals.
Oh, nice.
This Saturday they're going to be half off all clothing only.
Ooh.
So hanging baskets, everything that's clothing is going to be half off.
Of course, I just realized since today's Wednesday.
It's New Stuff Day.
Normally we visit
on
Thursdays. So in about 15 minutes, the 10 o'clock club is hanging out. They're probably already there, some of them. I don't know. They're probably not. I don't know if they're in line now because it is, well, it's 28. It's a little warmer today. Maybe they are hanging outside.
I don't know. My phone just says 36. No, 36 feels like 32.
But I'm going to take a stab that last Wednesday they probably weren't hanging outside very too.
Uh-uh.
But anyway, the 10 o'clock, and that's something that is Wednesdays because the thrift store is not open on Mondays and Tuesdays because they use that day to restock, replenish, get her all fixed up for the next week. And so they open on Wednesdays at 10 for the week. And so through that, and so whenever there's new things, new stuff, new items, that Wednesday's the first day it kind of debuts on the shelves. So if you are if you're a regular and kind of looking for on the lookout for
fancies, books, etc.
Enjoy what I've dubbed the 10 o'clock club on Wednesdays.
Right. I wonder how many are sitting in their car listening to the radio or listening to us right now, being like, yeah, I'm one of them.
Enjoy your coffee.
Yeah.
You'll see Crystal in about 15 minutes.
Right. Well, Crystal got to go to Walmart and get donations first, and then you'll see me.
But
however,
Camille's there to open the shop.
Camille is there.
Yeah.
And if you have items that you would like to donate, call ahead, talk to Camille or whoever answers the phone, and you just say, hey, this is what I got. When can I bring it, or can you pick it up, etc. And that way they can arrange it for proper space. We have to limit how much we're putting in that back room because we cannot make it a fall risk for employees or
Makes
customers.
sense.
We don't want anybody to fall and get hurt.
Yeah, you got OSHA appliances to.
We have to make sure that wheelchairs and walkers can get through the areas comfortably without getting caught on anything.
Sure. It's a place where the public is at. Therefore, it has to be ADA compliant and all the bells and whistles that.
And so if you
for public
have
spaces.
larger items or a lot of stuff, call ahead so that way Camille can say, okay, let me take half now. I'll come pick it up. And then Let me get some room situated and get the other half.
If you can work with us, that'd be great. Yeah,
we are trying to, get as much donations as possible to help run and function the facility, but also we don't want anybody getting hurt by having to pack it in and basically make it a trip hazard.
Sure, make it to where someone and a plus too. I know this always stirs a hornet's nest, but please remind folks: don't leave donations at the door. Do not. It causes more problems than good, and we've talked the videos. We've talked about this before, but please, for safety, for security, and to make sure that your donation actually gets to do what you intend it to do, please get with Camille and talk with her about any donations. Even if it's some clothing, just check with her first and say, hey, I got a bunch of, gently used clothing here. Can you use it right now? She may say, is it women's clothing, men's clothing? I'm really loaded on that right now, but check with me in a week, and I would really, work with her. Say, yes, I would, but I don't have room for it right now. Talk with me in a week or something.
Right, and then also...
And they'll come pick it up and everything else, too. That's the thing, too, is when, they have the ability to come. So if you got a couch or something that's large that you can't throw in the back of your pickup or in your car.
Or you need help.
Or you need help, they can help you do all that. So.
And then one of the other things, we know we got a lot of backlash from us posting stuff on Facebook about the theft. We have made it very clear that if you are in need of something and you are cold, you need blankets, you need clothing, you don't have to steal it. Yep. Come inside, talk to Camille, explain your situation, and she will be more than happy to offer everything she can to help you.
As a matter of fact, she may even call the other thrift stores and put you in the radar and say, we don't have this, but you guys have something to help this person out. You know what I mean? If you're looking for a certain thing or a certain deal, get in there and talk. They will. There is a community that's on the lookout for this kind of stuff. So rather than come in and steal stuff, and like we said last time we talked, if people are just coming in, going through the box, taking a shirt and leaving, that's not the problem. The problem is they're throwing it all over the place. They're destroying the donations. They're crazy. They're creating a unsafe and let's just face it, an unpleasant area for all the merchants and residents in that block area of that of the Humane Society.
And then we have people that just come and load, like if they see something outside, they load everything up.
This is the problem. It's not the occasional person coming and saying, I need a shirt and put on a shirt. And here's the other thing I also want to mention. I said on the radio here, but I'm not sure if you were here when I said it, is you guys are doing the actions of what you were told to by people, because you've gone to the police. You've done what you're supposed to do as a citizen of this town to do. And basically your instructions were, it's overwhelming. We can't, the best course we tell is publicly shame. Put them on your social media. See if that can garner. And that's exactly what you did at the advice of the police department.
Yes, the police department is the one that told us to take pictures, take them off of the video footage, and publicly shame, because...
And I understand where people are coming from on the one perspective, because I get people are issues and, people are having down times. We don't want to embarrass them. But at the same time, when it's a criminal issue, regardless of what's stemming it, we can't let it go unchecked.
No, and if you are having a downtime and you are, in the ruts and you are just at wit's end and you need something, if you have kids or it's just you or it's you and your husband, talk to Camille. Yeah. Camille will be more than happy to help you, and you don't have to feel ashamed. You can ask her, hey, can I talk to you where nobody else can hear, so that way you're not having to tell your business to everybody.
Sure.
And she will take the time. She will go aside with you, and she will talk with you and help you in any way she can.
You're going to find that everyone that, whether they're paid or volunteer at the Humane Society, have big hearts. That's why they're in the business they're in.
Right.
Yes, pets are probably the one seed, but they do share that love for humans as well. And if you come in there explaining your story, talking to them, coming in there hat in hand rather than what can I steal, you're going to get a much better response. You're going to get folks that are going to probably do more than you asked for at the end of the day. But that's just it. And this is the part that makes me really, I know people are saying their things and I'm like, you don't get it. Every single person in the Humane Society, every single thing going on at the Humane Society is A, correcting problems that society can't fix themselves because they're irresponsible. But B, they're trying to just help in any way. It's just literally they're just serving the community by doing things that, quite frankly, a lot of people in this town don't want to do.
And the community's just basically throwing it back in our face that they don't care.
And so that's why it makes me mad when people, I understand your empathy on this stuff. I really do. And I support that. But at the same time, when you're following instructions being told and you're at your wit's end on how to solve an issue that you can't, and everyone's just trying to do good, you've got to come from that angle and come to see that something has to be done about it. And so this is what's going on. So you can judge and yell all you want, or you can get on board and see if you can help us do this. So all those folks that had issue with the way they do it, I will say, well, then come talk to the Humane Society and say, how can we help you fix this problem instead of sitting and judging? If you want to help, if you want to fix, get off your Facebook page and get your ass into that building and help out.
Agreed.
Sorry, I'm sick in a cranky mood. So
at least it wasn't me today.
Everyone's got their opinions, and I'm like, all right, roll up your sleeves, and then we'll talk.
I agree.
Yeah.
And if you want to volunteer to sit in the parking lot at nighttime when we're closed and tell people you can't leave donations or collect the donations and hold on to them until staff comes in the morning or volunteers come in the morning.
Yep.
Great. But we don't have a lot of people offering to help us monitor our parking lot in the nighttime. That's why we have security cameras.
Yeah. I lots of wonderful ideas. Come help us execute them.
Yeah, I agree.
So, sorry, I got soapboxing, got mad here, but it's one of the things.
It's okay.
Come shop at the thrift store. Come support. It's the best way to do it. Come right now. Head on that way. Let the 10 o'clock club in first because they've been there. But right behind them, get on in there and do some shopping and support. And if you're looking to adopt a pet for home, we didn't really get to talk about that so much, but. How are the cats and dogs? Good selection for families right now?
I have a transport tomorrow, so the kennels will only be open 10 to 12 tomorrow because everybody's coming in really early with me in the morning because I got to be on the road and in Albuquerque by 9.
Gotcha.
So the kennels will only be open 10 to 12 tomorrow.
Okay.
But we're open today 10 to 12, 1 to 4:30. You're welcome to come in. We have quite a bit of dogs. We have a few cats that are almost ready to come out of quarantine. So they're not quite there yet.
Check the website. You can.
Yes.
You can. Is it up or is it still a little cattywampus? I forgot about that. Yeah.
Ish. So some days it's great. Some days it's like, nah, not today. So it was allowing us to edit photos.
Okay.
However, it's not allowing us to edit dates all the time. So it might have an old date on it.
Okay.
But
you can kind of get a gist.
Yes. We are working on a new website.
Okay.
That's with the GoDaddy's new web designer.
Gotcha.
Because they updated the software and our website's no longer.
It's all nerd stuff. I get
it.
Is. I understand.
We're working on it.
I work in an area where I don't know all the nerd stuff, but I know. And so people are like, well, it's not working. And I'm like, is that nerd stuff? All right, then I'm good. I don't need to know all the extras.
So it's in the process. However, there are photos on there. Sometimes they load great. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
But that's just because our website was built on a way old server that is unfortunately no longer able to receive updates.
Well, it's technology, and
it
now
is technology, and we have to advance with it.
Like if you're a Facebook user, like and follow the Humane Society on Facebook.
And then our Instagram. So
Instagram
apparently,
as well too.
You have to post on Instagram to go on Facebook to do the combo duo thing when you have Instagram and Facebook now.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's something new.
I allegedly have an Instagram account I started years ago. I've not opened it. I don't know how to get into it. I don't know.
Right.
So I don't.
So this is new for us.
Yeah.
Patience, bear with us. Because we're trying, to reach more people.
Well, you got to stay up with the times.
We do.
And I don't know.
So
we're always behind the times anyway, but times-ish, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we have a Facebook. We have an Instagram account. The thrift store has its own Facebook account. That when they get big ticket items, or something really rare and antique that they post on their Facebook page too.
Come and get it.
So find both of the Facebook pages and like it. If you just have Instagram, you can find our Instagram.
Okay.
I don't know what
Humane
it is.
Society, Roswell Humane Society.
I think it's Roswell Humane Society.
I think you can do a search. I don't know Instagram that well, so I don't know.
It's going to be our logo that's got the spaceship with the cat and the dog in it.
Gotcha.
So look for that. Cool. And that's a new development. And we're still learning how to do the stuff.
Hey, any volunteers that know this stuff want to spend some time helping, teaching, and learning, or hanging out and doing?
Yes.
So,
if you are an Insta Ruru, call me.
Hey, and if you have emotional stress, we can put you in the family room and surround you with cats and dogs while you do it.
Yes, we have had actually a couple new volunteers that have been coming faithfully, and helping immensely. But we can always use dog walkers. The weather hasn't been the nicest lately, but
we'll put you in the family room and you can roll around the floor with them for a little bit. That'll be fun. So yeah.
Yep.
That stuff. Thank you as always, Crystal.
Thank you.
And we will see you here next time.
Yes, sir.
All right, 9:56. Quick break before they boot me off the air. Don't go away.
Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra presents Shearer Plays Vaughan Williams, Saturday, March 1st at Pearson Auditorium, featuring Dr. Jim Shearer, professor of tuba at New Mexico State University, in the Vaughan Williams Concerto for Tuba and Orchestra, plus Beethoven's 7th Symphony, along with works by Barber, Sibelius, and Mozart. Get tickets and more information at roswellsymphony.org or by calling 575-623-5882. Shearer Plays Vaughan Williams, Saturday, March 1st at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Sponsored in part by Dr. John and Ms. Deanne Kaysen and the Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Attention Goddard Rocket fans. When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line. When victory alone isn't enough, raise your bar, keep dreaming, and go beyond the limits that you thought possible. The new 2024 Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot, part of the Roswell Honda Rugged Trail Sport lineup. Roswell Honda, proud supporter of all Goddard High School sports.
Psalm 139 can be one of the most comforting or one of the most disturbing psalms in the Bible. David seems to be speaking to God throughout. Verse 1 says, "You've searched me, O Lord, you know me." Verse 7 says, "Where can I go from your spirit, and where can I flee from your presence?" If you're searching for God or looking for his guidance, then this psalm gives us the assurance that he's there for us. However, if you're running from God or trying to hide from him, these words should give you reason to rethink your attempt to get away. Over the next few weeks, we'll be studying the life of the prophet Jonah. He doesn't like what God has called him to do, so he tries to run from God's call. Whether you realize it or not, God is always with you, calling you to be his, to follow his word, to listen to him. Do you feel if something is missing in your life? Maybe it is God calling you to him. Be comforted in the knowledge that he loves you and that he is there to lead you where you need to go.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Your NMMI Broncos would love your support. This Monday, the Broncos return home to host Clarendon College at Cahoon Armory. Come out and cheer on Joseph Thomas, David Popa, and the rest of your Broncos to victory. Tip-off is set for 6:30 p.m. Monday, January 27th. Come watch exciting junior college basketball in Roswell as your NMMI Broncos host Clarendon College Monday at 6:30 p.m. Don't miss it.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have a few clouds in the Roswell area early today, but turning sunny in the afternoon. Sunny elsewhere, and we'll be in the upper 30s to low 40s. Overnight looks clear and cold. We'll drop into the mid-teens, and then sunshine coming up for Friday. Afternoon highs in the mid to upper 50s. Some clouds on Saturday, sunny on Sunday. Afternoon highs both days on the low 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump is wasting no time, sparing no resources, and reasserting federal control over the southern border. Now, some 1,500 troops are being sent south.
The Pentagon's military deployment to the southern border puts in motion President Trump's executive orders cracking down on immigration. The acting defense secretary said the troops will fly helicopters to assist Border Patrol agents and help in the construction of barriers. The Pentagon also will provide military aircraft for deportation flights for more than 5,000 detained migrants. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Thousands of homes are under threat, and there are evacuations in northern Los Angeles County as a new wildfire, the Hughes Fire, continues to burn.
The weather is what's predominantly driving this fire and its spread right now. The National Weather Service has extended the red flag warning through 10 a.m. on Friday for most of Los Angeles and Ventura counties.
L.A. County Fire Chief Anthony Maroney. Some 50,000 homeowners are under evacuation warnings or orders. President Trump is questioning the wisdom of providing millions in federal disaster aid for wildfire-ravaged Los Angeles if California's leaders don't change the state's approach to water management and wildfire deterrence practices. The House has given final approval, congressional approval, to the Lake and Riley Act. The bill requires the detention of illegal aliens accused of theft and violent crimes. The bill, named for the 22-year-old Georgia nursing student who was brutally murdered by an illegal immigrant from Venezuela. The bill now heads to President Trump's desk for his signature. On Wall Street this morning, stocks so far have been mixed. The Dow is trading about 97 points higher, while the Nasdaq is down 89 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it?
Resume the search for the missing after floods and landslides on Indonesia's main island of Java, bringing the death toll to 21. Waters from flooded rivers swamped 9 villages in central Java province, and landslides buried settlements after torrential rains on Monday. At least 5 people still missing. Images from the National Rescue Authority show workers digging in villages where roads and rice fields have been turned into seas of watery mud. 4 people killed, 5 others injured as a crowd scrambled for food and cash handouts from one of Cambodia's richest men as a Chinese Lunar New Year gift. The victims were crushed as a crowd of hundreds surged forward when the gates of the walled compound in Phnom Penh opened this morning to start the distribution of $10 in cash and 4.5 pounds of rice. News and analysis at townhall.com. One person's trash? Well, in this case, it really is another's treasure.
Police in Greece say a marble statue of a woman believed to be more than 2,000 years old has been found abandoned in a garbage bag and handed to archaeologists. A resident found the headless statue near a trash bin and handed it over to authorities near the northern city of Thessaloniki. Archaeologists confirmed its historical significance, and it was confiscated for preservation. Accidental discoveries of ancient artifacts are relatively common in Greece during construction and public works. Keith Peters reporting.
The longest strike in decades by Las Vegas hotel workers has come to an end. The Culinary Workers Union says workers have voted unanimously to ratify a new contract with Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. It's a 5-year deal, covers roughly 700 employees who walked off the job November 15th. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder, and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio, I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Well, they call it the deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Buenos Thursday.
See.
Happy day to you.
Welcome to it.
Yeah, hope your day's going well.
It's not like temperature-wise warmer outside. It's still bitter, but just that extra little presence of sun. It really makes a difference.
Sun is the equalizer when it comes to cooling. When it's even when it's 40 out, you're like, well, the sun's out, so at least I can stand somewhere.
At least we're not covered completely over in clouds, as long
as there's no wind.
And you know what? At least we're not buried in snow, like in Florida.
Right?
What a weird weather world we live in.
Yeah, it was kind of. I did see some of those reports late yesterday about the snow in Florida, and I don't know why, but the whole time I kept thinking, they all just have those stocking caps on hand, or they have to if I lived in Florida, I don't think I'd have those handy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like us and snow shovels.
Right.
You never think about it until it actually pops up.
Right. I was like, where'd they get these winter coats from? I live in Florida. I don't know if I'd own one of those. Or at least have it not in an attic or closet somewhere.
It was a big weekend for the REI down in Tallahassee.
But then it's also perspective.
Yeah.
If you lived in Florida your whole life and it's 40, they probably want a stocking cap. You know what I mean? Because they're like, that's Arctic to me. And because we all get kind of used to people that live in Alaska, 40 degrees out there, this is summer.
That's summer,
Shorts and let's party, And so if you grew up that whole way and then you get down, so I'm going to take a stab that, if you've been living in sunny Florida your whole life and 40 degrees is might as well be the North Pole to you.
Yeah. At this point, they're
okay, I got my winter coat.
They're breaking out their muckalucks and.
So we got it for when it's 40.
No, what's great is those dudes that are improvising. They were just throwing on 3 pairs of waders,
right?
Because that's what they have because it's swampland. But all that's iced over,
right?
What is that? That's got to be weird, man. Especially for the gators,
right? Well, and there was a video that I think Gene or Thomas they shared it. We have a group text of just memes that go around, from our office that, various people share. But one of those in there was and I'm going to assume this was Louisiana.
Yeah.
And he was on one of those flat swamp boats that kind of looks like the Time Machine from
right.
Kind of like that thing. But anyway, they were on one of those boats. Of course, the swamp was all ice, and that thing was basically a big jet ski on that ice, and they were doing donuts and just doing what it replaced big pickup with this flat bottom boat, basically doing the same thing.
Well, I gotta imagine those swamp. It has to turn into like goo, not ice. It just turns into gel.
Yeah, well, this was at least the video I saw because it was hitting on it fast, it was solid. But I didn't get to touch it, but maybe it was a little. It might have been slushy, but it was gliding over it like it wasn't. So, but then again, those boats kind of do that. So
yeah,
that's why they're built that way.
That's the thing that fascinates me is I've watched I haven't watched the whole season of Ice Road Truckers, but I've definitely watched whole chunks of episodes.
Right.
Just based on the fascination of how are they doing this? How is that much weight being supported by that?
Well, that ice is so thick.
It's thick. I know. Obviously, but
I've talked about this before, but I when I was a teenager, we went to Ottawa for this in Scouts, this winter fest thing and all that. But in the winter they do ice racing, and so the lake or whatever it is freezes over, and they literally race on it with cars.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we got to go on the race course in a van because it's a bunch of us, So, and we literally drove, as much as a van could on the racetrack out there. It was kind of neat. So, and where that ice road trucker stuff is, that's even way north. That's close to the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
So, me thinks, that ice gets thick enough where you can drive thousands and thousands of pounds on it.
Yeah.
For a period.
And thank goodness for that, because some communities wouldn't exist without it.
Right. And I'm sure it's dangerous. I'm sure it's all of the things it says it is. But at the end of the day, are we seeing like the thing that has once a season happening every episode? You know what I mean? They're hyping it because it's reality TV.
It's they take a whole season is basically like the 20-day stretch of everybody getting what they need to that village.
But how much of it is but what I'm saying is how much of the incident, because they probably make hundreds of runs over the course of that month.
Sure.
3 of them they may have had issues with. Those are the 3 you're seeing.
That's the ones you're going to see.
But
and you can stretch that out to 7 episodes if you need to.
But in our pea brains now, we think every time these guys go out, they're going to have to deal with the road melting or the truck sliding or the weight shifting or the engine braking or whatever problem of the week was for these particular shows.
There was another one too, and I can't for the life of me remember the name of it, but it followed this towing company essentially.
Oh, I see.
Do you remember the show that I'm talking about? It's like they
I think there's a couple. There's one in Vegas.
Well, this one they wasn't that one.
But there's a different one. But basically, they go and tow cars and stuff.
Well, no. This was specifically like they worked out on the ice roads and like. They were equipment towers. Like they would go.
This was like repo.
Yeah. Well,
the one I saw.
It wasn't repo. No, this wasn't repo. This was more like the guys who go out and like repair the trucks that are broken down on this like the heavy like log trucks and stuff like that. And like the ones that block the roads, they're the ones that like get them out of the way. And my wife at the time was studying to safety and like all this stuff, ocean, all this. So she was like watching it for school. I was watching it just out of sheer fascination of every single day these people they'd wake up and their whole thing was, I have to go save 13 people from sheer death on the side of a mountain in a blizzard.
Well, and
2 of my guys are unavailable.
Well, I don't know what she learned from it, but what I learned from my real life world is there's the training world and then there's the real world. And the things you do in the training world for the OSHA people and then the things you do in the real world to get the job done aren't always the same.
They certainly, that's pretty much what you picked up is, there's a lot of bending of rules and regulations here. Although her whole thing was she would always point out, well, if they would have done this and that, if they would have put this, that.
Sure.
She was a real like stickler for the, if you would have. I used to call her Captain Hindsight and she loved that.
Hey, 2020, come here.
Thank you for telling me what I should have done. Where were you then?
Right. Oh man, but I tell you some story. I don't have time, but I'll tell you how I learned that lesson one day. Remind me firsthand how I learned the training way versus the real way. But I don't have time today. So. It is 8:14. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We're going to get you up to date with the weather and all that here in just a wee bit. Then we're going to replay our interview we had with Elliot Rodriguez with Lone Depot. He joined us on Monday, I believe. And first time in 2025. He joins us each month talking about buying your first home, buying your 7th home, but home buying. He's obviously part of the lending institution of which you get the procurement of your finances to buy said home. So he's the guy you want to talk to before you talk to
He's not the guy that's got the beer. He's the guy that's got the tickets to get the beer.
He's the guy who has the guy that.
Which line am I in, man? Is this the line for the beers? The line for the tickets to get the beers?
Right. Don't you hate that at theme
Every
parks?
festival you've ever gone to.
I hate that at theme parks.
Yeah.
You're like, what line is this? This is the line to get the tickets to get into the thing or the thing to get into the thing?
We legitimately, when we went to the AJR concert in Denver, where we just get to the Ball Arena and we see this queue up of people outside of the actual arena.
Yeah.
And we get in this line and we're like, just kind of hanging out for like a good solid 3 minutes. Jocelyn was there for this one. And then finally somebody was like, what line is this? They're like, this is the merch line. We're like, we don't even need to be here. We're not getting merch. But for like 3 good minutes, we just stood in a line.
That's why I come, to stay in lines.
Yep.
You here for the concert? No. This line's getting short. I'm about to get over to that one here real quick.
I'm just here to fill up queues.
Once in a while, I'll ride it all the way through to get a beer or something. But usually I'm just here to go to the lines.
That was quite the ordeal. I was like, what line is this one, though? This is for merch. I don't even have merch money.
I think next time someone asks me that, what line is this? I'm gonna look and say, I don't know, but it's a good one, and it's nice and long. I said, we'll be here for hours. I can't wait.
And then just turn around and go, lines!
All right, it is 8:16. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have a few clouds in the Roswell area early today, but turning sunny in the afternoon. Sunny elsewhere, and we'll be in the upper 30s to low 40s. Overnight looks clear and cold. We'll drop into the mid-teens, and then sunshine coming up for Friday. Afternoon highs in the mid to upper 50s. Some clouds on Saturday, sunny on Sunday. Afternoon highs both days on the low 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 25 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 58%. Winds are calm at the moment. For today, mostly sunny. A little cooler than yesterday, but not as cool as earlier in the week. Expecting a high near 40 today with north winds at around 5 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight, but chilly. Overnight low of 18. Southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, sunny. Back up into the mid-50s, 54 for a high tomorrow. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, expect increasing clouds, but a little warmer overnight. We'll be in the mid-20s, 25 for an overnight low. Friday night, south winds at around 5 miles per hour. Then for your weekend on Saturday, partly cloudy. Expect highs right at around 50 with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy Saturday night, overnight low of 23 degrees. Sunday, sunny skies, 47 for a high. Partly cloudy Sunday night with an overnight low of 26. And then Monday of next week, 53 for a high. Tuesday, 55. And then they're talking chances of rain and snow Tuesday night and into Wednesday. But we'll see how that shapes up. All right, 18 minutes after 8, we're going to take a 4-minute break, and then we'll play our interview with Elliot Rodriguez from Lone Depot on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Psalm 139 can be one of the most comforting or one of the most disturbing psalms in the Bible. David seems to be speaking to God throughout. Verse 1 says, "You've searched me, O Lord, you know me." Verse 7 says, "Where can I go from your spirit, and where can I flee from your presence?" If you're searching for God or looking for his guidance, then this psalm gives us the assurance that he's there for us. However, if you're running from God or trying to hide from him, these words should give you reason to rethink your attempt to get away. Over the next few weeks, we'll be studying the life of the prophet Jonah. He doesn't like what God has called him to do, so he tries to run from God's call. Whether you realize it or not, God is always with you, calling you to be his, to follow his word, to listen to him. Do you feel if something is missing in your life? Maybe it is God calling you to him. Be comforted in the knowledge that he loves you and that he is there to lead you where you need to go.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Are you ready to succeed? At ENMU Roswell, they cater to your educational needs. Their dedicated facilities and faculties provide you with an exceptional learning experience. From academic programs to behavioral sciences, business, health education, or technical education, ENMU Roswell offers a wide variety of certifications and degree programs designed to take your education and experience to the next level. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
Time to move into a new year at the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop in Roswell. Valentine's fabrics are here and spring fabrics are arriving daily with a great selection of quilts, Valentine shirts, and rope bowls made right here at the Calico Cow. And Brothers sewing machines are on sale now. Plus, the Calico Cow can fix and perform maintenance on all brands. Out of town? Log on to roswellquilting.com to order. We ship direct. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender, loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660. Fergalicious.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true. Trusted.
Space, the final frontier.
Hi, Captain. You can choose your space at Main Trailer Sales.
Fascinating. Don't cling on to that old camper. The logical choice. New Durangos, Montanas, Cougars, and Passports from Main Trailer Sales. They allow space and comfort. Boldly explore like never before.
Beam on board to that perfect camper.
Don't go camping without us. Live long and explore.
Main Trailer Sales. Don't go camping without us.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning from... And good morning. It is 33 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Lone Depot, Elliot Rodriguez back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Roswell.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's to all.
Yeah. How's life treating you and your family right now?
Good.
Good.
The wife hasn't kicked me up to the curb yet, so that's a good thing.
That's right.
That's a good beginning for the year.
Still in the bed.
It's still there.
Hashtag good start to 2025. And good morning. It is 33 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Lone Depot, Elliot Rodriguez back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Roswell.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's to all.
Yeah. How's life treating you and your family right now?
Good.
Good.
The wife hasn't kicked me up to the curb yet, so that's a good thing.
That's right.
That's a good beginning for the year.
Still in the bed.
It's still there.
Hashtag good start to 2025.
No, it was a great year. Thank you all folks out there, customers and partners. We did really great last year, probably one of my best years yet.
Awesome.
So that was awesome. My team is growing, and actually I have a brand new guy just starting today.
Okay.
So it's
day one of his journey, huh?
Yeah, the beginning of this journey.
Good deal.
And it's been pretty interesting, and it's crazy because I'm trying to get here, and I'm trying to get him going, and it's like having problems. You know how the technology is.
It's
the first day.
Awesome when it works, but when it doesn't, you want to throw it out the window. Yeah.
And I have to get back to the office as soon as I finish here to make sure that he gets everything going. But it's been an interesting year. Good and bad. I mean, there's a lot of good things happened last year and bad things that happened last year too. So today our president is being sworn in in a few minutes.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be interesting to see what happens to our country from now on.
Well, I imagine just based on history and everything else here, I imagine real estate's going to probably pick up here in 2025.
It's been so weird, guys.
Yeah.
All right, folks that are listening out there, if you're in the market to buy a home, don't wait. Don't worry about it. Okay. If you're waiting to for the rates to get better, I get it. I understand it. I see the logic of it.
Sometimes you might wait yourself out of the home you're wanting.
And that is what I tell my customers. Look, you get yourself approved. You find the right house that's yours. If you can afford it, the numbers work, get it. If the market gets better, later you refinance and put yourself in even a better position.
Sure.
Because I'm not going to push you to a place that you're going to buy a house and then you're going to lose it in 6 months. That's not what I do.
Sure.
But if you start waiting on the market, you may be waiting 6 months. You may be waiting a year, and then you let pass the house that you like.
Sure. And if you already own a home and you're relying on that one to buy the next one,
that's different. That's a little different. But at the same time, if
you're waiting on interest rates, you put your home on the market. It sells when it sells. Then you've got to find a house, regardless of what interest rates are. So
and let's be honest.
So you
folks,
really can't play that game if you already own a house.
And that's one of those things that is happening. And like I said, we have a lot of good things happen last year and a lot of bad things. I mean, we got hit with the flood. Okay, folks, if you listen out there and you're still trying to figure out what to do. I said it before. Be careful with the people that come out of town, coming in, telling you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. They take your money and run away, and then you didn't take care of your place. I'm sorry that happens.
Yeah.
But that's why you have to look inside the city first.
Absolutely. And this is something you probably should and this is probably more conversations you have with your real estate agent than Elliot. But if you are shopping in the Roswell and Chavez County area for homes right now, do your due diligence. Make sure those inspections are in place. Make sure all those things, because of the situation of what we just had. And I'm not saying that people are trying to sell you a lemon. They may not realize it yet. It may be unknown damage.
Make sure that if it happens to be in some of the areas that got damaged, that the inspections get done properly.
And that's the thing, especially when it comes to homes. It's harder to buy a lemon home than it is a lemon car, because financial institutions like Elliott are not going to sell a home or give you the money for a home without appraisals, without inspections, without making sure that if they give you $200,000, you're not going to need another $200,000 to make that home livable.
Yeah, that's not a good deal.
That's bad business for Loan Depot too.
Yes, we don't do that.
So that's why when But if you're, and then I know this is not an Elliott thing, but if you're paying cash for homes right now and doing that kind of move, do your due diligence.
Yeah, be careful.
Your due diligence. You're a little bit better protected if you're financing it.
Please use the title company, for God's sake.
Yes.
Okay. Don't just take the word. I mean, not that the folks are lying out there and just saying it can't happen, folks.
Right.
One of the worst things that you can do is, here comes, I'm going to just use any name. I'm going to use my dad's name or my mom's name.
Right.
God keep them there, in their side, because they're no longer with us. It's like you buying a house from Jose, and Lydia was the wife, or the brother, sister, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it went past from one hand to another. If you buy that house from Jose, and Jose happens not to done the diligence on the paperwork, the house may still be on Lydia's name. Okay,
Yeah.
That's a very important thing. That's why you guys use the title company, so they do the search and figure out that the person that's selling you the home is the right individual, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, this is very important.
Just because they live there don't mean they own it.
that has happened many times in town. Okay, so make sure you use the title company so they can do their diligence and do their search, and
absolutely,
and make sure that the person you're buying the home is the right individual.
And this is fortunately when when you don't have a pile of cash sitting around and you need a lending institution.
Actually, when they're doing that, they actually got some money though.
Sure, but an advantage here too is by default you're forced to do these kinds of due diligence things because that's the requirements of you getting the loan. And so, in some aspects, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, which I'm pretty sure there's not many of them lying around that can pay cash for a home. This is actually a bit of a protection for you because it kind of allows you to learn to be a first-time home buyer learning curve that you didn't probably know any of that information if you never bought a home. And anytime you're a first-time home buyer, it's a learning experience.
Well, folks,
and you're going to learn, and you're going to learn that. Ooh, I made a mistake this first time. Don't do that the second time. Or you know what? Now I see the value in doing it this way. I need to do it that way. That's you kind of learn your lumps in that first one.
Well, that's what we always preach about using a real estate agent, like Mike said a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And also using the title company, guys. A lot of people are like, what the heck do the title companies do? They do a lot of things, folks. Okay. Man doesn't feel like it, but they are.
Sure.
They're the ones that insure the home and the deed to make sure that the person that is buying it is okay to buy it, and the person that is selling it is the right individual that is selling it as well.
In this world where there's basically property theft online and all this kind of stuff.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Even in some cases, I mean, you have to be a mastermind, to do those things, but sometimes even those pass through, okay?
Yeah.
So you have to do your diligence, because if you don't, you may pay the price later. I mean, the worst case scenario that can happen is that you live in a house for 10, 15 years, and suddenly out of the woodwork, somebody comes that this house is theirs.
Yeah.
And folks, that's not a fun thing to deal with. Okay.
And unfortunately, you usually learn these facts when someone dies.
Yes.
That's unfortunate time when you find out, oh, by the way, the person that died owned the house. Now it's mine in the will. That's when you find out these kinds of information.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm sure it's been in the middle of a sale when those factoids have come up over the years and things. But again, this is where talking to guys like Elliot from the get-go, when getting your money secured, getting that way, and that way you kind of know exactly what you're playing ball with, and that way you walk into the real estate, and trust me, your real estate agent is going to be very appreciative of that, because now when you give your real estate agent the more guidelines, more direction, the better they can do their job for you. So when you tell them, it's like, look, I've only been approved for $150,000. That's my max. That's my ceiling. You can't cross it. And that real estate, great. Okay, now what? And what do we need? 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom? What do we need here? 3 bedroom? What are we talking? And then you can, get the devil in the details there on what you're looking for in a house. But at least this is exactly where I'm at. And because you need to do this first. I get it. We all spend our Saturdays driving around neighborhoods. Ooh, that house is for sale. Or now it's online. That was back in the day. But back before the internet, we used to actually drive around and do those kinds of things.
Correct.
but people do that all the time, and I get it. You get your hopes up, and you're like, oh, we're going to buy a house, and you're like, oh wait, that's a $300,000 house, and I'm only qualified for $200,000. And there's nothing.
Yeah, that might not be a good idea.
Yeah, so that's why talking to Elliot first is the key to starting a successful process for your home buying, especially for first time.
And folks, I get a lot of calls all the time. Hey, what is your rates today? It's like, I'm gonna say it one more time. I don't have any rates. Okay, and any lender company that's telling you that, obviously they're lying.
It's a lot of variables before they can tell you your rate.
The rate that you're gonna get, folks. Listen very careful out there. The interest rate you're going to get, yes, the companies do got a little push in a few things. But in reality, is the program that you're doing, how much money you're putting down, what credit score you have. I mean, there's over 26 factors that determine what kind of interest rate you're going to get when you purchase a home.
Sure.
So there's a lot of things in place. Yes, do I get the best interest rate for most of my customers? Yes, all the time. My job is to try to get the best deal for you every single time. That's what I do.
And, depending on your background and everything else, like, you're a veteran, there's certain
programs
that offer certain interest rates or windows and things depending on program.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
There's a lot of those variables.
Every individual may have maybe not the best credit in the world, but he still qualify for a home and still get an okay credit. And he may qualify for MFA program. An MFA program may be today better than the VA.
Sure.
My job is to tell you that. Now, in the end of the day, you still choose what you want to do.
Sure.
Okay.
So, well, there's advantages because some of these will be like, okay, the interest rate's a little higher, but guess what? No down payment.
Exactly.
And so you're like, what's the better? No down payment. Now, if you're thinking I got $20,000, if I got a lot of money on hand, now maybe I want to make the down payment to get the interest rate down. But if you don't have a pile of cash sitting in your bank account, which most of us don't, then maybe the no money down's a whole lot more appealing to you.
Yeah, But at the end of the day, don't be afraid of whatever's happening in it doesn't matter that Trump is going to office today. A lot of people were like, yeah, let's wait for him to get in the office. And the fact of the matter, guys, is that before election day, the race got a little better. And obviously, that's a bunch of baloney because after the election day, then it got bad again.
Sure.
Okay. So the market's going to go up and down. And yes, the market, and I'm talking about those guys out there that are moving the money and everybody's selling stocks and buying stocks.
Right.
You name it. The ones that like 6 a.m. or something like that?
Oh, yeah. The futures or whatever.
Yeah, the masterminds of the universe or whatever.
I just picture this room of like very old men sitting around this mahogany table. They all look like ghosts, and they're the futures.
I remember that movie with black guy, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Trading Places?
Yeah, Trading Places.
Yeah.
I see all those people.
Yeah.
And I love in the end when the old man's like, open the market. Open the market. It's not over.
Yeah.
So it's like crazy. The fact of the matter, folks, is no matter what the heck name is happening over there, a lot of things go up and down. Depends on what the treasury, depending what the Fed said, and all that kind of stuff. And depending on what's happening overseas. I mean, there's so many factors that make stocks go up and down all day long that is crazy.
Well, and I would think, and if I'm wrong, tell me here, I would think, depending on what your end game at that particular time is where you need to be paying attention to these kinds of things. Now, here's the thing. If you're trying to find a home to live in, then you don't pay attention to those variables. If you're going the investment side, I got my home I'm living in.
That's a different animal.
I'm looking to buy real estate. Then when you say, all right, let's look at interest rates, let's play that game. But if you're trying to find a home that you are putting your butt and your family in, then you need to
look at all the factors.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a variable in that equation.
And just like, I mean, left and right every day, I tell people, look, it's good. We're going to get you the best interest rate either way every day, okay? But don't overpay. Folks, if you're buying a home, I don't care whatever the bank down the street says or my competitor said. If you're planning to buy a home and you're going to be there for a while, it's not about getting the best interest rate in the world right now, because if you're going to pay a bunch of extra money and then the market gets better later, okay, and then you want to refinance, now you cannot refinance because you're already there.
Right, exactly. That's the beauty of owning a home is the rates change. If it change drastically, you get to reapply.
Yeah, but if you spend a bunch of money and the market just got too close to where you already are, you just wasted a bunch of money. And then even if that was the case, that it dropped in a way that is going to be beneficial, you could have waited and just refinance. And now, if you want to spend more money, you can spend more money
and
get a better deal.
The whole meantime, even though you're paying a higher interest rate, you're still building equity.
Correct.
And you're still investing back in yourself. It may be a little less, because of a higher interest rate, but you're still investing back into you. And then when that rates change, and trust me, it's a lot easier to get a refi or a loan again when you've already been approved for one.
Gotcha.
It makes it so much easier. Once you're in the game, then it's a lot easier.
Folks, if you guys been listening to us all these years, we always say this every time.
Yeah.
If you're inside in the game, now you can move your pieces. Okay. We talk about this. I always tell my customers and everybody, I don't play checkers. I play chess. So I'm moving, a few moves ahead, and I have a few moves, in the side, just ready for them to move their pieces to see what I need to move.
Sure.
Folks, you cannot just play it like it's the end of the day today. No, it's the beginning of the day today. Sure. Okay. So don't think that way. If you have the itch, I always say it, and you want to buy a house, okay, just go and buy a house. I'm gonna get you the best deal possible either way. So just don't go overspend at what you don't have to spend.
And I think people don't realize is what you're paying for rent now and what your income is. If you're able to afford that,
you should be able to buy a house.
We can get you in the house.
Yeah, that's the
now.
fact.
What might have to happen, and this is where Elliot, I've always said, he loves working with first-time buyers, things like that. That's kind of a sweet spot for him, where he loves to, help people first time go through, and at the end of the day, seeing them, handing them their key to their new home. That's kind of gets off on that a little bit. But what I mean, by this too is this is where if you're one of those things, okay, I've got a 40-hour week job, but I'm making minimum wage. I got my rent here. I'm paying $800 a month in rent or whatever it is right now. Guess what? We can figure out now. You might come into Elliot and say, okay, your credit's not here, but guess what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Come back to me in 4 months or 6 months.
Yeah,
and guess
I'll get
what?
you there. I'll get you there.
And now the numbers jive, and we can start taking that $800 you're paying for rent and turning it into a mortgage, and that's investing back into you.
Folks, I just closed a deal on Friday for a lady in Clovis. Okay, she have 4 kids, single mom. Okay, been renting. She's been taking care of her mom as well. All right. Nobody can help her. She came to me. I took a look at all the numbers, look at everything. It's like, to be honest, I was like, why in God's name they cannot help you? I'm not understanding it.
All right.
Okay. I won't cover every stone, and I look at everything, And guess what, folks? She has a home today. I mean, that is amazing. This is what I love.
Yeah.
And she's like, thank you, Ellie's like, well, guess what? I couldn't do it without her help.
Sure.
She did everything I tell her to do. She followed my lead.
Sure.
We don't break the law.
She
here,
did
folks.
all the work.
Yeah.
You just gave her the roadmap to do it.
I gave her the roadmap, and this is what you need to do. My team will do this. My system, my processor is going to take care of that. We'll get this to underwriting.
Yeah.
Boom, we're done. I mean, this is, and we just did State of New Mexico. I literally give her money back. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not saying, folks, let's buy houses, don't put no money down at all. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is if you don't have it, there's ways to still do it.
Sure.
If you're gonna still pay rent, okay.
If you can afford $800 a month rent payment, you can afford $800 mortgage.
Yeah, let's figure out how to help you to get a house.
Yeah,
simple
exactly.
as that. Don't do this to yourself. And one thing is being part of the market, or should I say the system?
Sure.
Okay. And one thing is being a slave of the system. And guess what? In some ways, we're all slaves anyway.
Exactly. But here's another thing too that you don't realize is we'll say 1,000. Say you're paying 1,000 a month for rent.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 a month in a mortgage will get you more real estate than 1,000 a month in rent.
That is correct, 100%.
You will, because in essence, when you're paying a rent, you're paying someone else's mortgage. You're paying whatever they're paying a month plus whatever he's or she's making off the top. So put it this way: if you're paying 1,000 a month, he's probably paying 800 a month and taking 200 a month off the top of yours.
Most likely,
that's probably what's going on,
if not more.
Yeah, and or whatever that number is. But that's what I'm saying is you actually will get more house for that same rent payment because in essence you're cutting out the middle person.
Yeah, and it's yours.
Yep.
You invest in. We said it here many times. You invested in you and your family.
Absolutely. And then by the way, every mortgage payment you're paying, it's going back to principal and it's building to that principal. Next thing you know, you've got 20, 30 grand in equity sitting there.
And folks, it's just like any other loan you can do. Okay, so don't feel bad if a little going to the principal at first.
Yep.
That's just normal, okay?
Well, and
everybody's like, "Oh my God, nothing is getting to the something is getting to the principal."
And to be honest, you can. Here's the thing too: as you get more money, you don't have to pay the mortgage minimum. Once you get, okay, the first couple months you're like, all right, I'm making my payment, but maybe finances get a little better. All of a sudden, guess what? My mortgage is $1,000 a month. I'm going to put $1,500 in this month, and there's no penalties. That's encouraged.
Folks, New Mexico has no prepayment penalties. That means you win the lotto tomorrow, you could pay your house and it doesn't cost you nothing extra.
Exactly.
You're just paying whatever you owed. So don't be afraid. And if you want to pay your house faster, you just tell me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. A lot of people believe that the banks, the lenders want you to actually come and do a loan and stay forever for the 30 years.
Right.
Folks, in reality, that's not true, okay? Yes, do we make profit the longer you're on the loan? Of course they do because they make an interest on you. But
I gotta be honest, they probably make more money on you going 5-6 years on that loan and then getting a new loan for
that's what I was about to say. Because the fact of the money, the reality is money move any money and money moves money. So it goes back and forth. So in reality, when it comes to the point that the loan is in place, in many ways, we actually want people to pay us off.
Sure.
Because then we have more money to give a loan for somebody else.
Yeah.
It
feeds the beast.
It's like one of those vicious cycles that doesn't end. It just continues. Okay. But folks, do not be afraid out there to buy a home. Okay. You could feel, actually, you know what? It's very interesting. You could feel the momentum of the new inauguration today and everything going before we even finish, because things are getting more positive. I mean, things are happening.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know about y'all, but I've noticed a lot of new construction in
There's
town
a lot of
lately.
new stuff going on.
I mean, a lot of rehab and refurb because of flooding and stuff, but a lot of new construction is going on all over town. So.
And folks, again, the ones that are dealing with homes that are still needing to be fixed up.
Yeah.
Be careful who you're talking to if they're coming from out of town. Okay. You need to do your diligence and check who they really truly are.
We were talking with the health council last hour, and we're kind of talking about things, and I said, if you're dealing with contractor work and they are not registered with the city, you should not be doing contractor work.
No, you shouldn't even be talking to them at all.
No. You need to make because more than likely, if they're not registered, they're fly by night. It's a huge red flag. They're probably going to start the job and not finish it or do it very shoddy or not do it at all.
I have a guy last night. I talked to him. I said, I was working on Sundays, folks. Okay, I'm always working, I guess. That doesn't mean coming on Sundays, okay? That's not. I'm not advocating that, okay? That's not what it is.
Right.
If you must, I guess I will take the call. But what I'm trying to say is, I was talking to one of my customers, and we were gonna sell the home, and he was going to go buy another home, and his home got flooded. Guess what? He got taken, lost over $12,000. Okay, they started the job, left a mess, and they're nowhere to be found.
And unfortunately, that's more common than you think.
And it's happening more than what you folks know. Folks, I'm still here. I said it before. If you're still dealing with the home being remodeled, there's loans, for renovation.
Yeah.
Okay. We have them, and we even have one that is for disasters. That makes it a little easier to get approved.
So if you didn't get enough from FEMA, need more to finish the job,
I'm still here.
There's
okay?
options.
And you could remodel your house, in ways that you never could imagine. Of course, it's a bigger loan probably, but at least you could still take care of your house.
Sure.
And folks, if you want to take care of your house and you say, you know what, I don't want to live here no more, at least you can fix your house and sell it. Okay, so this is another thing that that is happening. Nothing against investors. God bless them. The people that want to leave their homes and they don't want to deal with the fallout that took place.
Mm-hmm.
But folks, you can fix your house and then sell it for more money, okay? And then you're better off afterwards as well.
You're actually sitting pretty.
And then go and buy another house.
Sure.
Okay, so don't be afraid of doing that either.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah, that's the beauty of owning a house.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
You're a thing in the game. You're invested. You've got money.
There's a few people that may be too old or whatever, and they don't want to deal with it. I get that. But
the home is the start of your nest egg, you know, and that goes with you, forever.
Yeah, just imagine a house that
as long
just
as you pay your bills.
Yeah, imagine a house that got destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's worth $150.
Exactly.
And you need like $50K to fix it.
Yep.
And you already own it, clear, okay? Free and clear, folks. You know what that means? You have $100,000 in equity. Yeah, you don't have it now because it's destroyed, okay? Or should I say damaged, all right? Don't just let the city just condemn it. Fix it and sell it. And now you're better off.
But you have that $100,000 there to
exactly.
rebuild.
That's my whole point.
And that's the thing.
Yeah, so don't be afraid of that.
I just saw the time, so I was like, oh,
sure,
we're
no
going to roll. If you want to set up an appointment to talk with Ellie about first-time home buyer or 50-time home buyer, doesn't matter. Elliot got you. Investment for personal, whatever. If you're looking for property and need financial assistance on that, Elliot at Loan Depot can help you out here. Give him a call. You can call him directly on his cell at 719-237-4680. Again, 719-237-4680, or call the office here downtown now. His new office has been fully going and blowing here a couple months now. At 505-445-2070, 505-445-2070, or you can go onto his website. He's got his own website. It's Elliot Rodriguez, all one word, and one L in Elliot and a Z at the end of Rodriguez, .com. Oh, I'm sorry, that was doing your email. Elliot Rodriguez at loandepot.com is the email address. www.loandepot.com/Elliot Rodriguez, all one word, is the
correct.
website to go there too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you need to get a hold of him that way, Elliot Rodriguez at loandepot.com, one L, one Z at the end.
We'll help you out, folks. Excellent. And like I said, now I got 3 guys. Actually, I got my number 4 coming. Okay?
Nice.
So it's in the works.
So we got a team.
So we're gonna have 5 people, including me.
That's right.
In my office. So
pretty soon they get helmets and race things and pit crew out.
Exactly. Start picking up people. No, I mean we'll be able to help you guys out. So
Awesome.
don't be afraid of what's happening in the market. Just go and get yours.
We'll get you taken care of.
Don't be left behind because you decided to do so. Okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you as always, and we'll see you next time here.
Thank you for having me. Happy New Year's to everybody.
Quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
On Main when he slowed to make a left turn into a business parking lot. He ultimately turned directly in front of the responding officer, and the 2 cars collided. The unnamed officer is recovering. The Holly Frontier Sinclair refinery in Artesia has agreed to pay $172 million to settle allegations involving its Artesia facility. The settlement was a deal brokered by the Navajo refinery, the federal government, and New Mexico state officials. Allegations included air pollution violations. $35 million in fines will be shared between the federal government and the state of New Mexico. The remaining $137 million will be spent by the company to bring the facility up to current state and federal air quality standards. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Got some ball games going on tonight. Boys hoops, it'll be Goddard playing host to Carlsbad. Goddard is 6-10 overall. That starts at 7 o'clock. NMMI hosting Portales. The Colts are 10-6. They beat Loving on Tuesday by more than 20. Hagerman playing at Dexter this evening at 6. These two teams just met in the Dexter Invitational last Friday. Hagerman winning by 20 points. Gateway Christian at Floyd tonight at 7. Lake Arthur at Elida. That starts at 6:30. Girls hoops and winless NMMI. They've only played 4 games. They'll be hosting Hondo tonight at 6 o'clock. Also this evening, Gateway Christian playing at Floyd. This begins at 5:30, and it'll be Lake Arthur playing at Elida. That starts at 5 o'clock. The Panthers lost to Melrose 54-13 on Tuesday. Melrose, pretty good. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have a few clouds in the Roswell area early today, but turning sunny in the afternoon. Sunny elsewhere, and we'll be in the upper 30s to low 40s. Overnight looks clear and cold. We'll drop into the mid-teens, and then sunshine coming up for Friday. Afternoon highs in the mid to upper 50s. Some clouds on Saturday, sunny on Sunday. Afternoon highs both days in the low 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks finished higher yesterday as Wall Street watchers say there is broad optimism from investors in connection to the policies of President Trump and his new term. Big names in tech, such as NVIDIA and Oracle, advanced for the session, helping the S&P 500 once again touch a new all-time high. Another factor in terms of boosted sentiment on Wall Street, a relatively strong fourth quarter earnings season. As, for example, consumer products giant Procter & Gamble posted strong earnings, leading to a higher share price, and that boosted the Dow. Economic data, December's leading economic indicators decreased, but the Conference Board says a recession is not expected. Today, look for initial jobless claims to be published for the week ending January 18th. And in company-specific news, Netflix announced it's raising its subscription prices. The TV streaming giant reported its corporate results were boosted by the hit Squid Game series, as well as live sporting events, including the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson boxing match. And Oracle and NVIDIA had those strong sessions amid ongoing enthusiasm for AI and the announced $500 billion investment into infrastructure. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Hello, I'm Mike Huckabee. President Trump has made history and is back in the White House. And your kids need to know what this means for their future and our country. That's why they need the Kids Guide to President Trump. This fun guide will teach your kids all about President Trump's accomplishments and his plan to save America and make it great again. And right now, I want you to have it for free.
To order, visit TrumpForKids.com. That's TrumpForKids.com. Visit TrumpForKids.com now.
Whether it's NFL on Thursday, Sunday, or Monday night, or college football, Game Day Roswell is your #1 destination, with a kitchen open for all your favorite snacks and apps, and a stocked bar with a full line of beers and spirits, with happy hour pricing all the time, including $4 bottles and $5 16-ounce tap. And try the Game Day Signature Shot Cinnamon Rocky Mountain Honey Whiskey, open Monday through Friday at 3, Saturdays at 11, and Sundays at 10:30 at 913 South Sunset in Roswell. Game Day, the place to go for sports.
You there! What are these?
My glasses, Your Highness. They're
incredible. Who made these?
The eyesight in Roswell. Or was it Hobbs? Or maybe Carlsbad.
So well crafted and stylish. So the eyesight thinks they can challenge my throne with their quality eyewear.
Actually, Your Majesty, I got 2 pair and an eye exam. It was so easy. I did it during my lunch break, and they even took my insurance.
Lunch break? Who gave you a lunch break?
Human resources, Your Majesty.
Silence! I'll get you eyesight!
The Eyesight, now accepting new patients 5 and up in Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
Reload! locations?
Clearly the best in sight.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project, but not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership, taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, "Judge yourself so you won't be judged." It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
Hey Roswell, Happy New Year! Roswell Ford has a New Year's resolution you're gonna love. We resolve to sell more new Fords in 2025, so we're gonna make it super fun, super fast, and super easy, just for you. In fact, we'll give you the price we'd give to a friend or family member right up front. So bring us any trade in any condition. Don't even wash it, because at Roswell Ford, all trades are welcome. Making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? We can help. We'll take your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders, all with great rates and terms for good credit, no credit, and even bad credit, with rates as low as 0% APR. Plus, we have a great selection of low mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Huge savings, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance, plus tax, title, and license with approved credit.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, "No, I'm growing like a bamboo." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 8:58. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. We're gonna talk some New Mexico Military Institute sports information officer or director Jeff Gunn will join us. Also Matt Robledo, I believe is how he say his name. We'll figure it out next hour. But we'll talk. Of course, they got a big basketball game coming up Monday. They at the Cahoon Armory. Want to get the folks out to that. But we'll just talk some Bronco and Colt sports with Jeff and Matt here in just a few minutes. I'm not gonna lie. This week I've been in a little bit of tunnel vision. Oh, you know, and it's all football. You know, I'm as you know, I'm a Commanders fan, and there's been an interesting run this season, and of course this last couple weeks of the playoff run. And so, like I, you know, as my job, I spend a lot of time scrolling, just seeing things, just, you know, to know what's going on, and I'm a little lacking this week. You know, I mean, there's a lot going on with the inauguration, with just everything going on, but all I care about is, like, Commanders play Sunday. They're still playing Sunday. They're playing the Eagles Sunday. So every time I've got, like, free time to just kind of look at stuff, and, you know, when I'm usually just pulling stuff together for, you know, things to talk about later, it's all been Commander stuff I've been looking at, because I just can't. I'm just such in a, like, my team's not supposed to be here. This team's sucked for 30 years, and now we're a win away from a Super Bowl. It's just so I'm kind of consumed with that right now. So
people that are non-fans or don't care are just like, geez. But I'm sorry, man. This is 30 years and none of this. I'm gonna spend a minute savoring this, regardless of what happens on Sunday. I'm savoring this, and I still feel the best is yet to come with this team. So I'm so excited, man. And I had felt about this team since I was in high school. So I mean, this is awesome. But anyway, doing more of the same. We're gonna pause for news here on the other, and we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on news.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. And so it begins. Trump border czar Tom Homan says more than 300 violent criminal aliens have been arrested in just 24 hours. These include illegal aliens charged with murder and rape, including sexual assault and crimes against children. After winning final congressional approval, the Laken Riley Act is on its way to President Trump's desk for his signature.
The House passed an amended version of the bill that made its way through the Senate earlier this week. The 263 to 156 vote tees up a major immigration victory for President Trump. The bill, named after a slain Georgia nursing student Laken Riley, mandates that those in the country illegally be detained if they commit robberies and other crimes. 46 House Democrats broke ranks with their own party to join Republicans and vote in favor of the bill. Bob Agner reporting.
Some 50,000 homeowners in northern Los Angeles County are under evacuation warnings or orders as crews fight the rapidly spreading Hughes fire.
The weather is what's predominantly driving this fire, and it's spread right now. The National Weather Service has extended the red flag warning through 10 a.m. on Friday for most of Los Angeles and Ventura counties.
Los Angeles County Fire Chief Anthony Maroney, who says that some headway is being made in fighting that fire. Unemployment applications ticked up modestly last week. However, the total number of Americans collecting unemployment benefits hit the highest level in more than 3 years. Applications for jobless benefits rose 6,000 to 223,000 for the week ending January 18th. The total number of Americans collecting benefits for the week climbed to 1.9 million. On Wall Street this morning, the Dow trading 184 points higher. The Nasdaq is down 52 points. The S&P 6 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte warns that a Russian victory over Ukraine would undermine the deterrent force of the world's biggest military alliance and could cost trillions of dollars to restore the organization's credibility. NATO's been ramping up its forces along its eastern flank since the Russian invasion of Ukraine began almost 3 years ago. It's deployed thousands of troops aimed at discouraging Moscow from expanding the war onto NATO territory. South Korea planning to remove concrete barriers near airport runways in response to a recent disaster. The embankments contain antennas called localizers designed to guide aircraft during landings and have been blamed for making last month's crash even worse. The Boeing 737-800 skidded off a runway on December 29th after its landing gear failed to deploy. The plane slammed into a concrete structure and then burst into flames. News and analysis at townhall.com. House Speaker Mike Johnson announced a new select subcommittee to continue House Republicans' investigation into the events leading up to and after the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol.
The committee will be chaired by Georgia Republican Congressman Barry Loudermilk, who in the last Congress led the conference's investigation into the January 6th Select Committee and the broader security response to the Capitol attack. It will be under the purview of the House Judiciary Committee, which is chaired by Ohio Republican Jim Jordan. Loudermilk's team published a 128-page interim report last month chronicling the investigators' findings and has repeatedly said more work was needed to build on his panel's findings. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
President Trump is preparing to visit western North Carolina. He says storm victims there were snubbed by the Biden administration. After North Carolina, Mr. Trump will travel to fire-ravaged Southern California. Governor Newsom's office says Newsom doesn't know if he's been invited to accompany the president. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracing the air notes
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Ah, yes.
I hope your Thursday is going swell.
Indeed.
So far, so good.
Yeah, it's looking quite nice outside.
Yeah.
Getting there.
It's
not going
chilly
to be, all the way there, but we're going to be almost there.
Yeah. Halfway there.
That's right. Lemon on a pear. That was yesterday.
Carries over to the third.
It sure does.
But happy day, everybody. Hope all of you are having a wonderful one so far. Yeah, it's kind of like I was kind of closing out.
Hold
here.
on. Yeah, go ahead. No, you say your thing.
I was kind of closing out the end of the last hour.
Uh-huh.
All I care about is Sunday. That's all
There it is. Okay.
Sunday. That's what I care about.
I'm going to have this at the ready. So whenever you decide to go into your little...
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Sunday.
Get on with it. Yeah,
I
know. It's definitely gonna be an exciting game for sure.
Yeah. But but that's really my focus, man. I'm just wow, this team, and I read every little thing, every little nugget, every little stupid little thing out there.
And this is what it's like to have a team that doesn't really have that experience. Like if you were a Patriots fan like 4 to 5 years ago, it's not that like nail biting and exhilarating the lead up to, okay, it's probably going to happen.
After you do it 5 or 7 times, yeah.
But when this is first time, long time, it's, the excitement is there. And the fact that, one slip and that's the end of the season.
But here's the thing, and this is maybe a unique to me and people maybe my age and, time frame here. Like I'm getting these feelings about Washington's this team, and I legit didn't have these kinds of feelings since literally '91 when I was the year I graduated high school, the year last time they went to the Super Bowl, all that stuff was and so that's why I'll admit, during the RG3 year, the year that he made a run before he got hurt, and, well, you've heard the rest of the story.
Oh, yeah.
There was a minute there I was like, man, this kid is... But there's a difference between this and that. There was always that, because, with Dan Snyder, there was never that love in the locker room like you're seeing with this team. Like, it was always, but but he wants this and he wants this, and we're doing this because this is what works.
And
this
it's
is
momentum because it's strength to strength. And that's the thing is, as your team is starting to kind of build that momentum, and the hope is kind of still. But what you're talking about is the feeling.
Yeah.
And I understand because, there's that phrase gets thrown around a lot in my particular fandom is, people waiting for the certain return of the feeling.
Yeah.
That being Attitude Era WWE or 2021 era AEW when everything was just the cards lined up and everything was perfect. And that's the feeling.
Yeah.
You guys haven't had that in a long time.
Well, and what different thing? Yeah. And the more, and of course there's hype videos out the yin yang, you know, and I ain't gonna lie, you hit everyone and I'm ready to run through a wall.
That being said, you do know that you're what the gambling world your team is what the gambling world calls a spoiler. You're messing everything up.
But here's the thing
Throwing up the point spread.
There's a moment, I wish I could play it on the radio for you, but I can't because it's got a few expletives.
Oh.
But before the Detroit game on Saturday, they've been playing this clip the last 2 days.
Send me the audio. I'll clean it up for you.
I got to dig around and find it.
Find it and send me the audio. I'll clean it up. We can play it tomorrow.
It is
We can play it going into Friday's show.
Right? It was Terry Allen, and it was right before the team goes out onto the field. They're right there at the end of the tunnel. He pulls up and he pulls these guys together, and Terry's for. I don't want to get in the whole thing, but obviously you know him as Terry McLaurin, the star. But he's kind of been with the team through the bad times and is here, and so he's seen.
He's the wizened janitor of the team.
Short of Tressway, our punter, he's kind of seen some darkness from this team, and coming out on the other side here. But what he says is just, I was ready to. It was like Rocky times 10, man. When he got done, because he's just like. He goes, they've been telling us all year this and that. He goes, it's not about, it's about what you do. He goes, we're blessed people. But after the money's gone, after the fame's gone, what do you got? You got your name. And what are they going to say about your name after today? And he just went, he goes, I know what they're going to say about me. They're going to say I'm a dog. And you're just like, oh, and you can see the whole team's just feeding on. I was like, this is why they beat Detroit on Saturday. They were coming out ready to. And
put that to some inspirational
and that's
music.
how they're coming out every single week. And I'm like, that's an X factor. You can't put your stat guru computer dude on.
No, it is definitely a momentum, and they're I'm not going to say the odds ever be in your favor because I think it's better to kind of be of the mindset of the underdog of if we do this, it's going to be. It's an amazing
These
thing.
next two games we are not supposed to win this. We're going to be the underdogs. We are the underdogs because we're the less talented team. We got JD5. That's what we got. And now, and this is the thing, now everyone's talking about, look at the weapons he has. I was like, bull, beep, because y'all at the beginning of the year were talking about these guys were dirt clowns. I'll pull up your tweets talking all about it. And now you're talking like, oh, look at all these weapons he got. He made them better. Terry McLaurin was great. He's now elite because JD5 is sitting at quarterback.
But, Mike, you forget, this is 2025. This is the year of revisionist history. Right. None of that matters. What they said before, it's all about what we say now.
I've just heard all these people chirping and like, oh, yeah, like, come on, y'all didn't. None of y'all were calling this. None of y'all saw this. And that's the thing I get about Sunday. Yeah, we're supposed to lose. And if we lose, that's probably,
but
at the end of the day, it's probably what's going to happen.
Even so, it's been an amazing ride.
But not even so is what I'm saying is take all your stats. You can sit here and take Jalen Hurts and his numbers, and you can take Saquon's numbers and his numbers and defense and his numbers. You take all that and throw it out the dang window on Sunday because it don't matter. I mean, yeah, that comes into play, but Washington comes prepared every week and they come hyped, and that's a cocktail that you can't quantify.
Right.
And so. That alone says, yeah, this team could win the Super Bowl.
Sure.
And yeah, I'm a fanboy, and I'm a little. But part of my fanboyism is I've literally been doing nothing but reading and studying on this team.
Right.
And just what I'm seeing, I'm knowing is if you underestimate this team on Sunday, you're going to come out of there with a loss.
Sure. And I'll be honest, this is the story that most people hope for going into the big game. Is you don't want. Two shoe-ins or, it's going to be this again. Oh, it's going to be that matchup again.
Yeah.
This is that, This is the story that the 30 for 30s tell.
Yes, exactly. That's what is going on here. That locker room is very reminiscent of the last time they won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of thing I was seeing. And that's why I'm saying, they should win on Sunday. But what's going on, the chemistry, the things, the planets are aligning, don't be surprised if we're talking Commanders in the Super Bowl next week. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
We're going to keep the sports going. We're going to have Jeff Gunn join us here, and Matt, I hope I'm saying his name, Robledo, I believe. I hope I'm saying that right. From NMMI here. We'll talk some NMI sports, Bronco and Colt sports here, and basketball, all that good stuff. So we'll do that here in just a bit. But Foist, your weather.
Mm-hmm.
I see sunshine. I see rain. I see sunny days.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have a few clouds in the Roswell area early today, but turning sunny in the afternoon, sunny elsewhere, and we'll be in the upper 30s to low 40s. Overnight looks clear and cold. We'll drop into the mid-teens, and then sunshine coming up for Friday. Afternoon highs in the mid to upper 50s. Some clouds on Saturday, sunny on Sunday. Afternoon highs both days in the low 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 29 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 54% with winds out of the northeast at 7 miles per hour. Today, a little cooler than yesterday. Sunny skies. High is expected to hit 40 today. Winds will be out of the northeast at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight. Another chilly one. Overnight low of 18 with southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Friday, sunny skies. Expect a high of 54 tomorrow. So back up into the 50s. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday night, increasing clouds. A little bit warmer overnight. 25 an overnight low with south winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, partly cloudy skies. Highs right at about 50 with winds out of the north. 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy on Saturday night. Winds will be overnight low of 23. And then 47 and sunny on Sunday. Monday, we're back up into the low 50s. But Tuesday night, Wednesday, they're talking chances of rain and snow. So we'll see how that shapes up here over the next couple days. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick 3.5-minute break. Then we're going to talk some NMMI sports here on the other side. Don't go away.
Time to trade in and trade up in 2025 with Roswell Honda. With a fresh new lineup of vehicles and great rates that mean you can trade up and save. Like a new 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid, just 4.9% for 48 months, 2.9% for 36 months on new Pilot and Ridgeline, and 2.9% for up to 60 months on new 2025 Honda Accord. So hurry in before the savings pass you by. Trade in, trade up, and save at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
It's one of those things we've all had on our mind. No matter how much we want to ignore it, we all know that wisdom teeth can cause pain, teeth crowding, and even infection. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. I am proud to be a part of an outstanding team who understands your concerns when considering wisdom teeth removal. Call us today and let our staff walk you through the process so that you are confident and prepared for your wisdom teeth removal. And don't worry, we have sedation dentistry options so that you can rest and feel at ease.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental. Call 575-622-4455. Altrusa is excited to announce, along with partners Dion's Pizza and Hobby Lobby, a book blitz. The book blitz will be Saturday, February 8th from 10 to noon at Dion's Pizza and Hobby Lobby Roswell locations. They'll be collecting new and gently used children's books to be placed in the Altrusa-sponsored Little Free Libraries. Altrusa distributes books for local projects and organizations throughout the year. Your help in stocking up our children's books would be greatly appreciated. Please join the Altrusa Club Saturday, February 8th at Dion's Pizza and Hobby Lobby in Roswell to help support the book blitz.
You there! What are these?
My glasses, Your Highness.
They're incredible. Who made these?
The eyesight in Roswell. Or was it Hobbs? Or maybe Carlsbad.
So well crafted and stylish. So the eyesight thinks they can challenge my throne with their quality eyewear.
Actually, Your Majesty, I got 2 pair and an eye exam. It was so easy. I did it during my lunch break, and they even took my insurance.
Lunch break? Who gave you a lunch break?
Human resources, Your Majesty.
Silence! I'll get you eyesight!
The Eyesight, now accepting new patients 5 and up in Roswell, Hobbs, and Carlsbad.
3 locations?
Clearly the best in sight.
Psalm 139 can be one of the most comforting or one of the most disturbing psalms in the Bible. David seems to be speaking to God throughout. Verse 1 says, "You've searched me, O Lord, you know me." Verse 7 says, "Where can I go from your spirit, and where can I flee from your presence?" If you're searching for God or looking for his guidance, then this psalm gives us the assurance that he's there for us. However, if you're running from God or trying to hide from him, these words should give you reason to rethink your attempt to get away. Over the next few weeks, we'll be studying the life of the prophet Jonah. He doesn't like what God has called him to do, so he tries to run from God's call. Whether you realize it or not, God is always with you, calling you to be his, to follow his word, to listen to him. Do you feel if something is missing in your life? Maybe it is God calling you to him. Be comforted in the knowledge that he loves you and that he is there to lead you where you need to go.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the New Mexico Military Institute, talking a little, I guess, Bronco and Colt sports this morning here.
Correct.
Jeff Gunn back with us, and Matt Robledo as well. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Very well.
Good. Did I botch it or did I get it right? Perfect. Good. I sometimes some of those words, man, they just don't. I try. It's like in my head they sound right, but when they come out here, they just don't work here. But good morning, guys. Good
morning.
First off, we're right smack dab in the middle of plenty of Bronco and Colt action here. We're kind of in that heating up, meaty part of basketball season right now, as we're, playoffs and that kind of stuff. We're starting to sniff that kind of thing, but we got a lot of work to do to get there first kind of thing. So that's kind of, as far as winter sports go, that's kind of what Colt and Bronco teams are dealing with right now.
That's exactly right, Mike. I mean, we are in the heart of the basketball season. District play, conference play is beginning now, so all the pre-tournament, the tournament, all that stuff is taken care of, and now it's all about how you do at the district level, so you can try and win district and then make a play for state later on.
Just for folks that have been following NMMI Bronco basketball this year, let's just kind of give a little recap. Talk about how the season's progressed through the first half this season.
A little bit of a tough season for head coach Sean Schooley and the Broncos this year. We're still searching for our first conference win. We're 5-11 on the season, so struggling a little bit, but very, very young team. I think we only have like 2 sophomores on the squad.
So you're going to see that with a young team. They got to learn their chops a little bit and learn how the rest of the league plays.
That's exactly right. We do have a star player with Thomas, who's done a great job for us. He's our point guard and the team leader. And we have some incredible athleticism, too. You've got kids like Bramau and some of the other ones and the Polynesian Tuakoi, who have done a great job this year on the inside. But we are in a conference that has how many teams, Matt, that are ranked right now?
Currently, there's 3 ranked teams in the conference.
Wow. So the competition's stiff within conference. So whoever's coming out of this conference is battle tested, basically, is what that says. It's kind of like in high school here, like at Artesia, Roswell, Goddard. You come out of this district, you're coming for a championship, and so it looks like this conference might be pulling that kind of thing this year, whoever comes out of it.
That's exactly right. I mean, I think it's the best conference top to bottom in the nation. You also have 2 teams. So Frank Phillips College is number 15 in the nation. You've got SPC that's number 20. We're going to be playing tonight Midland College, who's ranked number 12. But Howard College has been ranked in the top 10 over the course of the season, have fallen out because they've lost a couple of games. And then Odessa College has been ranked in the top 15 as well. There's just no patsies inside of the conference play. But like I said, if you want to see some excellent basketball, come out tonight. Or, KSVP TV, Gene Dow and you guys are going to be doing our crew. Art Sanchez and Kelly McDonald are going to do the broadcast for our game on Monday night for a conference game.
But we'd love to see people come out to Cahoon Armory on Monday and pack that. And I would offer this, if you have not been to Cahoon Armory in a while,
Good call.
It might look a little different since the last time you've been in there. They did the major remodel here, 2-3 years ago? How long was that?
Yeah, it's been about 2 years
Yeah,
now.
about 2 years
maybe
now.
even 3 that we've been inside that building. But
But it's a
$23
beautiful
million
facility
facility.
there.
Yeah.
It's literally night and day. It literally went from a dungeon to a palatial place overnight.
That's exactly right, Mike. I mean, it is kind of the recruiting central now. We bring a lot of kids in there so they can see the facility and see how nice it is.
Yeah.
And, Matt
And it's a
I
great
have
place to come watch a basketball game.
It certainly is.
It is. Like you said, the competition. But here's what I like too is I think we're setting the table to seeing. Okay, maybe this year not so much, but we're seeing the beginnings of a team that maybe next year. And what I like about it is because you were talking about the competition of the conference, iron sharpens iron. I don't care what anybody says. Iron sharpens iron when it comes to sports and things like that, whether it's on the gridiron or in the basketball court. Iron sharpens iron. And when you play the best and you get beat by the best, you learn from the best and you get better. And so I think this year, coaches don't like, especially in collegiate world, rebuilding, things like those are not terms we want to use. But in essence, I think, we're like, I feel like this team is, like you said, it's a young team. I think we're setting the table for a little run here. And that's kind of where I feel like you kind of get them on the ground floor, see this up and coming team and see, because I'm going to say, like some of these players you were talking about, seeing them a month ago versus seeing them play right now is probably night and day different, as they've got a month of experience under their belt and they're seeing the faster pace of the game, seeing exactly what the coach has been talking about in practice every day.
Exactly.
And you get better from that. And so I think it's an exciting time to come and check out some Bronco basketball.
Most definitely.
So come out tonight. What time's the game time tonight?
Matt?
Play at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. at Cahoon Armory?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Come on out. Get there early to get you a good seat and everything. How's the concessions at the Armory?
We got chips, sodas.
We got you covered. So come hungry.
Whatever you want.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
But don't make a mess. It's a nice building.
Exactly.
It's a nice building. Don't make a mess here. Keep it nice here. We kind of, and you know what? You kind of want to, because you know how you go into nice places and you start, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is nice. I got to behave.
Yeah.
You
the China
get in there,
closet,
it's
right?
like, oh, I don't want to leave anything on the ground. It's too nice in here.
Exactly.
But come out, enjoy some basketball action. But let's talk a little bit about some of the other Bronco stuff going on right now. Give us a fill on some of the other winter sports teams.
Well, the big thing is baseball right around the corner. I know people are like, wait a minute, it's way too cold.
Is this their winter spring training kind of portion of the year? Spring training in the winter?
That's exactly it. I mean, Roswell, of course, a little bit warmer than a lot of the teams that are up north. We play Northwestern.
Well, some people would fight you on that.
Northeastern.
Some people would argue with about that this week, though. But,
That's a good point. Yes. But compared to the Colorado schools, they like to come down and come play a little bit of baseball out of the snow.
So we're like the Cactus League for...
We are. That's exactly the Cactus Thaw.
Yeah.
That's what these games... But we will be playing our first Bronco baseball games at the NMMI ballpark on January 31st.
That's hard to believe, but man, that's awesome.
That's only a couple
So
weeks
if you've been
away.
itching for a little spring ball, man, get your scratch itched here in January and come out and... go out to the ballpark and get your popcorn and peanuts and, your stat book and have some fun out there on might be a little chillier than what you used to, but bundle up. It'd be all right.
Well, and if you get a little cold, come on up to the press box. We've got heaters inside of there. But the cool thing about the team this year is we have 9 Roswell kids
a lot of
on
locals.
the squad.
Love that.
And we have a total of 23 New Mexico kids
Wow.
from all corners of the state: Farmington, Las Cruces, Hobbs, Volcano Vista, Albuquerque, Taos. So over half of the roster are local kids.
Yeah, you saw them in a high school uniform a year ago or so. That's I love that. So come on out and check out some of your locals.
Exactly.
Maybe
right.
slightly taller and bigger. Maybe depending when they hit their growth spurts.
And they do. I mean, they really do. You saw it with, we've got Ryan Alsop on the team this year. His brother Owen Alsop really came onto his own under Coach Cook and helped them go to back-to-back regionals.
Sure.
So
What's the forecasters predicting? I know people love to, give their previews, even though we're 2 months away or whatever from a start of an actual, regular season game here. But what are the prognosticators saying?
It's funny that you say that because I saw Coach Cook as we were walking out to come to the radio show this morning in the parking lot, and I said, "Hey, we're about ready to go on the radio show. What do you want us to say about the Bronco baseball team this year?" And he says that we're young. And he left it at that.
Good.
But
so are they experiencing kind of like the basketball team, kind of infusing new stuff here, new players, new kind of a new generation of Broncos in there. But like you said, this one's loaded with a lot of New Mexicans, and particularly within Roswell Travis County area.
Exactly. And we're coming off back-to-back regional appearances. We, first time in program history that we have gone to the regional tournament in 2 consecutive years. As a matter of fact, under Coach Cook, we've gone 3 times during his term. And before that, our last time that we had gone to regionals was whenever Roger Staubach was playing baseball for the Institute.
That was a minute ago.
Exactly. We're talking about 1960. So
right.
It's been a while since, NMMI has been at the top of the heap.
So you're starting to see the program build into
most definitely
what we're calling, kind of that building that foundation to create that consistency of winning. That when you look at programs that have long histories, when you look in Division I and your Penn States and your Notre Dames and your, it's all about that building the foundation and creating that, and that's what's going on here in the Bronco, bullpen here on the baseball field on the diamond. That's they're built same in the basketball and same football, right. Same kind of deal. That's kind of how it's. And I imagine with JUCO it's a little trickier because you have half the time in essence. You do, because every one of these players ultimately are either trying to go on to the next thing, whether it's Division I or whatever that is.
Well, and of course the really good high schools too. They're not just having for 4 years. They're they've got feeder programs in the middle school that are teaching them their offense, defense, little leagues, etc. Pop Warner. So
that would be a kind of an interesting conversation. And I don't even care what coaches, but just some of the head coaches and talking about how the recruiting process is for a junior college coach.
Yeah.
And I don't care what sport it is. It's basketball, volleyball, football, swimming, doesn't matter. I imagine because it's probably trickier because at the end of the day, you can't go after the top tier because they're going to be committed to 4-year schools. And, a junior college player generally is a person that's maybe didn't quite hit the numbers to get there, but they got the talent, the ability. They just got to prove a little bit more.
That's exactly right.
That's kind of what that, and so.
Or conversely, they have a hole in their head rather than their game. They've got a great game, but they're academically a little bit behind, and so they need to come to a junior college in order to. That was Roger Staubach to a T. And, Diego Pavia was here for the same reason. And this is a kid who's gone on and done incredible things.
Exactly. So it's kind of like so for me, it's got to be a little bit different. Like if you're at Auburn or whatever, the blue chippers are easy to track. I'm just saying you can, you know what I'm saying? They're easy to find stats on them. They're easy to, whereas the person that is on the cusp of that doesn't have the shine, doesn't have the media out there on them, which means you got to spend a lot more time going through locker rooms, going through, parents' living rooms.
Yes, you're exactly right. Talking to coaches, talking to parents, it's like, hey, who is this kid? Who is this Matt Robledo? Am I getting a potential blue chipper here, or am I getting a dud?
Right.
That's what you want to try to find out.
Right. We know we've been talking with Matt here, but we really said what your role here. I just got so tracked in. So tell us, Matt. Tell us about you.
So I'm the sports information assistant.
Okay, you're Jeff Jr.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm sorry, I may have just gave you a name that I do not want to give you that name, Jeff. Jeff Jr. I'm sorry. If I did that, I apologize. Yes. If that sticks, I'm sorry.
That's good. Get ready for Jose.
So I gotta ask. You got a little nerd in you? Because that's kind of a need to be a stat guy and you know what I mean? You got to love sports, but at the end of the day, you got to love numbers too. And not all sports guys are numbers guys, you know.
For sure, I'm always looking at numbers. I mean, Jeff would tell you I'm always telling him different stats, just random stuff. Something I always look at. I mean, I just look at them and just try to come to some conclusions. And
sure,
I always talk with Jose after the matches too. And
sure, well, and it's you know, the Moneyball movie made all that stuff famous, and it's not wrong. I mean, sports are better when you do that kind of research. My argument is you need a little yin, a little yang. Yes, you need all of that, but and I'm going to point back to my football team right now. There is nothing you can quantify on a stat sheet or in a computer on what's going on in Washington right now, and that's where you gotta factor in that right place, right time, the planets align, a right coach, a right personalities in there doing the right thing to get everybody in concert. And that's the thing, stats, you want to use those stats to build the right chemistry. But at the end of the day, you got to have the chemistry and the numbers to make the run.
Well said.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so don't get me wrong. It's great that, it's so important because it has made a difference in the game. You get to see, because I think it's making stars that maybe wouldn't have been a star in another light. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I love that Moneyball mindset and saying, it's the sum of all the parts. It's not the one, the one thing. And if you look at championships over time, and again, I don't care what sport it is, basketball, football, baseball, tiddlywinks, doesn't matter. You look at the history, and the teams that win the big dance aren't always loaded with superstars. They may have one guy, or they have guys that are overachievers, or guys that were amazing for that month of time, and
Mr. October,
and so you've got that's the part everyone loves about sports. So you got to find that mix. I know I got way soapboxy on this stuff,
that's good.
But I do love. But my point was, I love that we had the Moneyball mindset, and now I think we're starting to kind of come. I think the shift's going from, because I think for a minute there was, when they see the Moneyball and all that, and they see, it's all about the analytics and all this other stuff, and hey, we can incorporate the football and this other sport and all that. It's a good thing. But now it's kind of like the .com bubble where everybody was doing it, and then it kind of busts at some. I think with the analytics thing, it's saying, that's important, and you need to factor it in, but you can't put all your eggs in the analytics basket. You got to throw a few in another couple of gut feelings and planet align. Throw an egg or two in those baskets.
Exactly.
Good. But anyway, let's get back to Nimmy.
No, that's fine. Well, let's let Matt talk a little bit about our Colt basketball.
Yeah, let's talk some high school. Let's talk Colt basketball high school, which they've been doing well too.
Yes, sir. They're currently 10-6 right now at the moment. Winners of 4 straight. They take on Portales tonight, and over the weekend they had a tournament in Dexter where they came out as champions. They took down Melrose and Hagerman. So those are a couple of the teams that they beat over the weekend.
So they're making their run now, and they could be making some noise when it comes to Blue Trophy time here. You never know. They could be in the picture, stirring a few nests.
Yes, sir.
Well, one of the impressive stats that we've talked about how young all the other teams are. Matt, how many seniors are on the NMI Colts this year?
I think there's about 9 seniors on the roster.
Okay, so they're a veteran-led team on this one. This is kind of, you're seeing experience. This is in this, and so maybe and who knows? Some of these kids might be heading over to the Bronco roster here in a year or so as well, too. So
we've seen it happen before, most definitely.
I imagine that's got to be a good, because that's an advantage I think the Broncos do have when it comes to junior college over other junior colleges a little bit, whereas you kind of potentially have a built-in farm system a little bit with having a high school. So I imagine that is a perk to being a coach as a Bronco coach. You say, hey, I literally can walk down the corridor and go see what the Colts are doing and see if there's any talent there that we can bring over to the Bronco roster here in a year or whenever they graduate.
And it's definitely happened in Bronco volleyball, Bronco football, and Bronco basketball, Bronco baseball, etc. And not only are you getting, potential athlete that can help you out, but you have a kid who's been at NMMI, knows the system, and probably has some rank in the Corps of Cadets.
Sure.
And so then they're coming in and they can help your other new cadets adjust and
Yeah,
make the
they already know the life
too.
of what NMMI is like, and they can
Exactly.
incorporate them into that. And so, and so I would imagine Bronco coach spending a lot of time watching Colt games, just saying, I need to talk to that kid after the game.
Yep.
See what his plans are.
Most definitely.
But so when's the Colts back in action?
So they play tonight.
They'll be tonight here at home?
Yes.
Do they play in Cahoon Armory as well, or do they play?
They also play in the Cahoon
Awesome.
Armory.
I ain't gonna lie. They probably high school team, one of the nicest gyms in the district, in the state, probably.
Yes, sir.
You're playing in a junior college arena.
You can get 3 games for one tonight. You can come. We'll have a JV game at 4 in the Cahoon Armory.
Okay.
Then the varsity game at 5:30 and the Bronco game at 7.
Okay.
And if you want to, you can wander over to the Godfrey Athletic Center. The girls will be playing tonight as well over
Excellent.
there at 6 o'clock.
All right. And speaking of the girls, let's talk. How's the Lady Broncos and Lady Colts doing this year?
So the Lady Colts are looking to pick up their first win tonight.
Okay.
But they've only been playing 4 games.
Okay, so they're just getting into
yes,
the
sir.
season.
We're basically barely starting our season, coming back from break.
Gotcha.
All the other schools have tournaments over the break or whatnot, and we kind of have a late start.
And that's a disadvantage when you're playing teams in mid-season form and you're at the beginning of the season. That's a huge disadvantage for a team. But sometimes you can't work that. You can't help that. That's just the way the schedule lays out.
Yes, sir. And in our first games, we had some of our players not back from break yet. Some of our players were sick. So, I think these next couple of games before our district play.
This is when they're going to gel. This is
yes,
when they're
sir.
going to they're getting their mid-season form.
They're going to get their legs under them and
Yeah.
know where to be and know what's more expected
Good
of them
deal,
from coach.
But yeah, if you get over to Godfrey, man, they got some exciting basketball going on over there too. And of course, the volleyball team kind of, they kind of advertise themselves. They kind of got a big footprint on them. But check out lady basketball as well too. You're going to see some great action there too. How about we're talking. We just talked Broncos. How about Colts here? Or we talk Colts here. Let's talk Broncos. Sorry.
Now, we don't have a women's basketball
Okay.
team, so just the high school girls.
Okay, just high school. My
so
apologies.
The Lady Colts.
I thought we
that's
did.
all right.
My apologies.
And
I
it's
should have
more
known
about
better.
gym space. I mean, we do have two complete gyms, but with high school volleyball, college volleyball, 4 basketball teams, it just makes
Sure.
it, because you
all going on at the same time.
Exactly. And volleyball, Shelby Fortner and the Bronco volleyball team, they're at nationals every single year for a reason. There are no days off.
Yeah.
They're still using the gym every single day and out there working and
So
doing
when
stuff. Yes.
when basketball's not happening with the Colts, then they're in there.
The nets are up and
then they're out there
playing.
doing that stuff too. And but come out to the game. Yeah, come out tonight. Like I said, got a triple header tonight. Should be a great night of basketball. Quadruple header if you play your cards right.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And then definitely come out for Monday to Cahoon Armory here for some more. Like you said, we will be carrying that one on KSVPTV.com. So tell your out-of-town friends and family. But if you're in the sound of my voice here on the, well, I can't say that more because we're on the internet. If you're into Roswell, then you can get your butt in the Cahoon Armory here on tonight and Monday night for that matter here too. Is there any other information, any other things we wanted to, any other sports, anything we want to cover? I know we got talking here, but I want to make sure we get to cover everything you guys do because I go down rabbit holes.
I guess the big thing is, Colt swimming, another winter season sport.
Yeah.
They'll be competing in several meets. They just had their first one, I believe, last week.
Okay.
They'll be in Artesia for a meet, I believe, as well. And I don't know a lot about it. We just took the team pictures. We've got 3 young ladies on the team, and I think a group of about 7 or 8 guys.
Okay.
And I know that they are looking. We had 2 kids that made it to state last year, both boys, and they're back on the team this year.
Okay.
And so they hopefully will make another run and get some individual qualifiers for the state swim meet.
I think just based on my knowledge, and I don't have a lot, but based on the limited knowledge I have of swimmingers and all that, I'm sure parents are very thankful that their swimmer kid goes to college because I'm going to say their grocery bill goes down.
No doubt.
1,000% once that kid goes to college.
Exactly. I mean,
because the amount of calorie intake a swimmer does to get to a meet. Like I remember those Phelps stories of him eating like
Yes.
15 pounds of spaghetti before eating all this other nonsense.
Oh my goodness.
But that's a swimmer's regime. You know, they burn a lot of calories swimming, and they got to intake and replace that. Otherwise, they melt away. And so, I know it's a joke, but I'm serious, half serious. I'm
No.
going to say, they're like, thank God you're going to college. Now I can afford. We can go out to dinner every once in a while now.
That's exactly right, no doubt. The grocery bill has just been slashed by not even half. It's like gone down like 90%, right?
Absolutely. Just for the future here, because for folks that don't know, NMMI over the last couple of years have started a middle school program as well too. Is there any talk or knowledge of maybe incorporating middle school sports into the program? Is that on the horizon, or talks or am I behind the eight ball? It's like, yeah, we've been doing that for years here.
No, you're exactly right. As a matter of fact, I think they haven't competed this. Well, no, I take that back. We did have kids compete last year, and a couple of kids got the challenge coin from our new president and superintendent, Voris McBurnett. He passed them out to kids that were competed in a cross country meet,
Awesome.
and I believe it was this year. There is plans to expand that quite a bit. They will have, I want to say, they will have a basketball team.
Oh, great.
So
More
boys
farm system.
and girls.
More
yes.
farm system. Yeah.
Well, it certainly can be. And,
Sure.
They don't have a gymnasium right now. There is plans to expand on the place that they are at and put in a gym out there, but they're going to be, using our facilities.
Also, those kids will
and then
love playing in
also
Godfrey. That'll
at the
be a
rec
big
center.
deal. Yeah, that'll be a
Yes.
big deal for them to
Oh yeah,
play
get a
those
play
games.
where all the
Yeah.
all their idols play, right?
Yeah, and I would even say, because it's a big deal. Like when the Colts, I would even say when the Broncos go out on the Wool Bowl field, that's a big deal. And
Certainly is.
And that's that. What? I love that over the last 2 years. That they've been doing that again. I love that Broncos play Saturday football games in the Wool Bowl. Now, don't get me wrong; it is fun if you've never got to do it to watch the Broncos play a game in basically the heart of the campus.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, not a lot of seating compared to the Wool Bowl and stuff,
No.
obviously, but I definitely love that home atmosphere, and it feels really. The only thing that weirded me out the first time I saw it was we were playing an afternoon Saturday game.
Okay.
And I think the chow hall opened at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
And all the kids left.
And really, like in the third quarter, everybody just gets up and leaves. I'm like, what happened? It's like, chow hall opened.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's-
oh, I get it.
yeah.
You hungry?
Yep. It'll happen during volleyball games too. Be a core mandatory game until the chow hall opens up, and then boom, everybody is gone. Because hey, that's food, man.
Yeah.
You don't mess with that.
You ain't wrong. But I just remember seeing. I was like, did someone fart? What happened?
Exactly. Just cleared the bleachers.
I was like, someone made a bad joke or something, man. What happened over there? No, it's chow hall. I was like, oh, okay.
Very good.
Like, they're winning. Why are they not leaving? This is a good game.
Well, and speaking of the chow hall, so Bates, the Bates cafeteria is getting a massive renovation right now. So that's one of the big projects
Nice.
we're pretty proud of. And so, they'll have a brand new facility, place to eat here very quickly.
Nice.
And so, yes, sir.
I highly recommend if you never go, if you've ever toured the campus, tour the campus. It's a beautiful
Please
facility.
do. We'd love you have
the
you
athletic facility is amazing. With the gym, the swimming pool, all that stuff. If you've ever been in that part of the thing, it's just a great place to. And private, it's you don't have to be a Bronco or a Colt to do some of the things in there. Talk to them.
That's exactly
I think
right.
they the public is allowed to utilize those
I think people get a little feared, because we're military school. They think military base. There is additional security, but so come in, give us a call or whatever, walk in and find somebody to talk to. But yes, we'd be more than happy to have you. Give out those tours to the campus, and it is beautiful.
Depending on the time of day you come, you got plenty of equipment and everything else. Of course, when the team's practicing, it might be a little busy, but in between those times. But yeah, it's a beautiful facility there, and you come have lunch, and they got like a little food court, mini mall there. You get all kinds of food and all kinds.
We
of
do.
good
We have a
stuff.
Starbucks on campus. They're in the basement of the JRT building.
Life on the campus as an NMMI student is not too shabby. They got all the amenities and stuff there, and The only thing they still do their Walmart runs to be carrying their crates of Cheetos and Cokes back to the.
They certainly do. You will see the cadets out there walking, or hopping a ride from and coming back.
But yeah, they got pretty good. They got facilities there. Shoot, they can get their hair cut. They got the whole world right there. They don't have to leave technically.
Yes, sir.
But good deal. But come on out tonight. Come on out Monday. Go to, if you want to just kind of see everything, go to NMMI's website. You can go there. Obviously, you want to learn the academics, but if you want to see all the athletic side for Colt and Bronco, from rosters to stats to histories to schedules to everything you need to know, it's at the NMMI website. I always just Google NMMI and it comes up. What's the... It's like nmmi.edu or something like
NMMIathletics.com.
Athletics.com.
Yes,
there you
sir.
go. And that'll take you there, too. But if you don't remember any of that, nmmi.edu.
That'll take you there, too. Exactly. And then hit the athletics button.
Good deal. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. Good luck this weekend. And, yeah, we got to get you guys in more often as we kind of update. Love to, talk to,
I got a T-shirt for you, too, I forgot to bring in. I meant to, so I can show it on the camera, too.
Well, next time.
But yes.
We'll save that for next time.
All right. Very, very good.
And thank you, guys. And let's go NMMI. Go Broncos. Go Colts. We're looking forward to some exciting, who knows, maybe might see a playoff run out of this basketball team here. You never know.
We'll see. It's still early in the conference season. That's exactly right. And
my football team had 4 wins last year. They're about to go to the Super Bowl. Maybe. Don't be getting cocky, man. Maybe.
That's right. My father's with you. He was the big Redskins fan. Beta Pigs, all those guys. Yep. So, most definitely.
Yep. But thank you, guys, and we'll see you next time. All right.
Thank you, Mike.
All right. It is 9:50. Let's pause for news, hand of the update, and some sports. Travis County sports update, and there's some commercials there. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news updates. I'm Jared Cirillo. We begin with a developing story out of Roswell, where tragedy occurred Wednesday. A police officer involved in a deadly crash. It happened near downtown when the RPD patrol car struck another car driven by 66-year-old Howard Charles Peterson. The initial investigation shows the officer was headed south on Main, responding to a serious crash near Main and Poe Streets with his lights and siren activated. Peterson was headed north on Main when he slowed to make a left turn into a business parking lot. He ultimately turned directly in front of the responding officer, and the two cars collided. The unnamed officer is recovering. The Holly Frontier Sinclair refinery in Artesia has agreed to pay $172 million to settle allegations involving its Artesia facility. The settlement was a deal brokered by the Navajo refinery, the federal government, and New Mexico state officials. Allegations included air pollution violations. $35 million in fines will be shared between the federal government and the state of New Mexico. The remaining $137 million will be spent by the company to bring the facility up to current state and federal air quality standards. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The new era.
It already is.
Do you believe that, Sean?
I believe all
What
of
are you
it.
going to ask him tomorrow?
I'm not going to tell you now. You'll have to tune in. You better go catch your plane.
I'm gonna, the location.
You're going to be.
We're at the Hilton. What's your name? Tell me your
Linda.
name.
That's Linda.
You're unbelievable. I mean that in a good way. You're unbelievable.
Well, you're the one saying you're going to miss your plane.
Yeah,
I don't
I am
want you
going
to
to
miss
miss
your plane.
it.
Well,
There's snow all over your country, Sean.
I know.
It's snowing everywhere.
It's not my fault. I did not talk to God. Jesus.
I didn't realise.
No,
You're
I don't
not going to speak to God. You're not going to do an exclusive Sean Hannity with God.
No.
In the Oval Office, Hannity and God.
You're going to be
His chosen prophet, Sean Hannity.
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
This great country was founded on freedom, and that was freedom from a country that forced us to buy overpriced tea and then tried blockading us when we dumped their tea into the ocean. How'd that work out for them? Well, it's time now to throw out your overpriced big wireless contract, throw it overboard. My friends at Pure Talk, my cell phone company, says no to inflated prices, and with a qualifying plan, of just $45 a month, you can choose a free iPhone 14 or free Samsung Galaxy. And yes, this is for premium service. You get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 25 gigs of data, mobile hotspot. You get all of it at a fraction of the price of AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. Also, they use the same 5G network. So get your free iPhone 14 or your Samsung Galaxy. You simply dial pound 250. You say the keyword save now and check in with Pure Talk and their U.S. customer service team and make the switch. Pound 250, keyword save now from Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have a few clouds in the Roswell area early today, but turning sunny in the afternoon. Sunny elsewhere, and we'll be in the upper 30s to low 40s. Overnight looks clear and cold. We'll drop into the mid-teens, and then sunshine coming up for Friday. Afternoon highs in the mid to upper 50s. Some clouds on Saturday, sunny on Sunday. Afternoon highs both days in the low 50s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Got some ball games going on tonight. Boys hoops, it'll be Goddard playing host to Carlsbad. Goddard is 6-10 overall. That starts at 7 o'clock. NMMI hosting Portales. The Colts are 10-6. They beat Loving on Tuesday by more than 20. Hagerman playing at Dexter this evening at 6. These two teams just met in the Dexter Invitational last Friday. Hagerman winning by 20 points. Gateway Christian at Floyd tonight at 7. Lake Arthur at Elida. That starts at 6:30. Girls hoops and winless NMMI. They've only played 4 games. They'll be hosting Hondo tonight at 6 o'clock. Also this evening, Gateway Christian playing at Floyd. This begins at 5:30, and it'll be Lake Arthur playing at Elida. That starts at 5 o'clock. The Panthers lost to Melrose 54-13 on Tuesday. Melrose, pretty good. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Psalm 139 can be one of the most comforting or one of the most disturbing psalms in the Bible. David seems to be speaking to God throughout. Verse 1 says, "You've searched me, O Lord, you know me." Verse 7 says, "Where can I go from your spirit, and where can I flee from your presence?" If you're searching for God or looking for his guidance, then this psalm gives us the assurance that he's there for us. However, if you're running from God or trying to hide from him, these words should give you reason to rethink your attempt to get away. Over the next few weeks, we'll be studying the life of the prophet Jonah. He doesn't like what God has called him to do, so he tries to run from God's call. Whether you realize it or not, God is always with you, calling you to be his, to follow his word, to listen to him. Do you feel if something is missing in your life? Maybe it is God calling you to him. Be comforted in the knowledge that he loves you and that he is there to lead you where you need to go.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra presents Shearer Plays Vaughan Williams, Saturday, March 1st at Pearson Auditorium, featuring Dr. Jim Shearer, professor of tuba at New Mexico State University, in the Vaughan Williams Concerto for Tuba and Orchestra, plus Beethoven's 7th Symphony, along with works by Barber, Sibelius, and Mozart. Get tickets and more information at roswellsymphony.org or by calling 575-623-5882. Shearer Plays Vaughan Williams, Saturday, March 1st at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Sponsored in part by Dr. John and Ms. Deanne Kaysen and the Roswell Lodgers Tax.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
Stock up your freezer with premium New Mexico grown beef cuts delivered straight to your door from Runyon Cattle Meats. Runyon Cattle Meats offers premium grass-fed, grain-finished beef in whole, halves, and quarters, along with special seasonings that perfectly complement the meat. Find mouth-watering recipes, cut lists, gift baskets, and more at RunyonCattleMeats.com. Order today by calling Runyon Cattle Meats at 575-760-5655 or online, RunyonCattleMeats.com.
Whether it's NFL on Thursday, Sunday, or Monday night, or college football, Game Day Roswell is your #1 destination, with a kitchen open for all your favorite snacks and apps, and a stock bar with a full line of beers and spirits, with happy hour pricing all the time, including $4 bottles and $5 16-ounce tap. And try the Game Day Signature Shot Cinnamon Rocky Mountain Honey Whiskey. Open Monday through Friday at 3, Saturdays at 11, and Sundays at 10:30 at 913 South Sunset in Roswell. Game Day, the place to go for sports.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Central Valley Electric is continually learning and advancing technology that improves electric service, reliability, and safety, and in turn enhancing the quality of life for members that we serve in our local communities. CVE offers an account management program called Smart Hub that allows members to track their usage, set up convenient pay methods, and the ability to manage their energy use with smart technologies. A secure system such as Smart Hub is an easy tool to use. To sign up, visit cvecoop.org and click Smart Hub to get started.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Trump sees FEMA as an obstacle.
President Trump scheduled to visit the fire scenes around Los Angeles Friday, stopping first in North Carolina to view damage and recovery efforts from Hurricane Helene. On Fox News Channel's Hannity, Trump criticized the Federal Emergency Management Agency.
All it does is complicate everything.
And claimed he had FEMA working really well.
We had hurricanes in Florida, we had Alabama, tornadoes, but unless you have certain types of leadership, it gets in the way. And FEMA is going to be a whole big discussion very shortly, because I'd rather see the states take care of their own problems.
Ben Thomas, Washington.
Also at townhall.com, in Davos, Switzerland this hour, President Trump